So why do you always come in with heat about the Jews, Toby?
Are you gonna burp me today?
I mean, I don't know if I birded you. It's more of a Tom.
Yeah. Well, that's what he does to him. Damn, I wasn't expecting that. I was feeling good. Now my day's ruined.
No, now you feel bad. Well, you know, it would be your evening. It's
No,
definitely
what I was gonna
nighttime.
ask you was the intro. There, it's like, did you lay all those hits out on a synth or something?
That's all me.
Or?
Yeah, I did that.
I like the melody.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Thanks,
nice,
man. Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just like a sample or if it was a arpeggiated kind of.
Yeah, no, I did all that. It's just synth layers, you know.
Pretty cool.
Just some synth layers. Welcome everybody to the 85th episode of A Drink and a Joint. And if shit looks different, it should. Because we've been putting a bunch of fucking money into this shit.
Sometimes it takes 100 episodes.
See that?
Almost 100.
Money. These money.
Yeah, look at this shit. All these wires are nice and
money. Color of my shirt. Baby poo.
Well, that's old money.
That's old money. But anyways, I'm Davvy, as you can see from my name below. And that's Toby, as you can see from his name below.
Yeah, dude, when we branded out today.
We branded the fuck out.
I don't know if you can see, it's kind of...
it's kind of blown out from the light.
Yeah.
But
we got this hat.
Yeah.
And we got these branded ass mugs.
Yeah. Branded ass Drink and a Joint mugs.
We're going to make these for you guys. Yeah. But for now, they're just for us. They're extra special.
Yeah, because when I bought
no one else gets them.
When I bought the banner, they were like, "You want a hat and some mugs?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I will take one hat and two mugs." I don't wear hats, y'all.
Oh, I guess that's true. You know what? I never see you in a hat unless it's something goofy.
Yeah.
Like, you put on hats to be funny.
Yeah.
Because it's something
I don't do. Yeah, no.
Why? But you got loose hair on the top. Like, you could have... It's not like
I could
be
do
too
it,
big
I could do it if my hair was down or... But
you see
like
what I'm saying, though?
It's weird.
You don't have them up here.
Yeah.
So you would still fit a hat.
It feels weird for me
with
to
the
be...
long dreads.
Yeah, to be that dreaded guy wearing the flat bill. You know what I mean? Because I did that for our 420 episode.
Yeah.
I think. And like I was
just looked like a Molly dealer.
Yeah.
Real quick.
But
what about the baseball caps? How do they look on you? Like, it's kind of weird.
Know, you want me to try it?
No.
Okay. No, you're not getting my fucking hat. You're like, you gave me this hat.
You're gonna take it back that quick?
You're gonna take it back? But what we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna start. We're drinking some Bud Lights today, and we're about to drink out of our brand new branded Drink and a Joint mugs.
Some OG Kush.
Oh, we
one of the classics.
Fuck yeah. Frothy brew out of our Drink and a Joint mug that they printed awkwardly. So like,
I was wondering about
for you guys just listening to it. So we have these new mugs, and what they've done is they've printed our logo on the front of the mug, not the side.
So against the side, or like straight across from the side with the handle.
Right. So you
when
have
normally a coffee mug would be printed.
Yeah.
So when you're sipping, someone can see the brand. That's the whole point, is to like sell the brand. You know, it's like Budweiser.
Yeah. So that part I'm not too stoked on, but
kind of odd. I don't know why they do it like that. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, it's super weird to drink Bud Light out of a mug. It's weird to drink Bud Light out of anything other than a can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're trying to fake it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't
trying to fake being fancy.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's that, because drinking anything out of a mug doesn't make you feel fancy. I've never been drinking out of a mug, Toby, and been like, this is the height of luxury. This is
yeah, doesn't it feel like fancy. The morning or something? Doesn't it make it feel like
in the morning I wake up and I put shitty booze in my cup?
Yeah. You're like, what are you drinking? That smells terrible.
Why does that smell like horse piss?
Oh, it does. It like instantly makes it flat tasting or something.
Well, no, because Bud Light only tastes decent because it's mixing with the aluminum from the can.
Yeah, it's like when you drink it from a keg, like in a cup. That's what it tastes like. It does taste a little different for some reason. It's too aerated.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's letting all the carbonation out quicker.
You're letting all the carbonation out, boy. What are you doing? I'm trying to get our levels right so we're not peaking. Yeah. But, so I think that helped a little bit.
New mics set in.
So what we're going through some of the coveted Rode pod mics, and I would say get one if you can find them. It took me about a month and a half until I found a B&H photo. They finally got them in stock.
Oh, they're out right now?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Because they're amazing microphones and they're $100.
Yeah, so they just keep getting sold out.
Well, because these are
Everyone's at
comparable
home.
to those SM7Bs.
Yeah.
They're comparable to like really badass, like, because those SM7Bs are what, $400? These are a quarter of the price.
Yeah. And everybody's at home trying to do shit like this now.
Oh yeah,
so.
everybody thinks they're a podcaster, but let
including us.
Well, hey, listen to some dudes who've been doing it for a couple years now. Quit. Don't do this.
What?
Do not do this. Don't do this. First of all, I'm warning them, Toby, and second of all, I don't want more competition.
I get that.
First of all, I'm warning you because this is hard. There's going to be a lot of nights where you're just staying awake thinking about all the things that you've done wrong in life because this isn't going to work out as fast as you thought it would. You think it's easy to come up with a podcast that takes the world by storm? Your ideas are not original.
Yeah.
What you're going to be doing.
And we don't even plan. I see now I'm going back to being like, this has been easy as shit when they really get like it's work. And there's always something that goes wrong every time that pisses you off. But once you get going, I mean, we didn't even plan a topic for today, bro.
We got a loose one. One. Oh, yeah, but
it's about freedom. If you can tell from my shirt, GOD, USA, and the SEC. Those are the three most important acronyms.
The reason we were going to talk about freedom today was because a few days ago, legislation was passed that social media can't censor people anymore, which is great. You shouldn't be censoring people anyways. Let people talk. This is the land of the free, the home of the braves.
Do we have any details on that? Like, is it going to be, like, to what extent? Can you show murders, pornography?
I think it's more just censoring what people are saying. So, like, Twitter and Facebook were in trouble.
You can say, I'm going to kill the president.
I don't think
that's still treason.
Well, I don't. Well, yeah, that's still on the line. But even then, that doesn't stop people from actually saying that about Trump. You know, like what's weird is that like people would have flipped out if you said you were going to kill Obama, but if you're like, I'm gonna kill Trump, people are like,
people would have freaked out. Oh, I see what you mean. Like,
yeah,
because they're like, yeah, he's a dick.
Well, even then, it's just like it's kind of become a joke, which is weird because this far into someone's presidency. For people to still be as...
He delayed the election. Isn't that weird? No president's ever done that before.
Can you really blame him, though? Not that
I didn't know that he was
a Trump
allowed.
supporter.
I didn't know that he was allowed to do that.
I don't think he is. I don't know if he has that power.
The guy in office can say, you know what? We're not going to vote this year. I'm just going to keep doing this.
Well, but the thing is, though, is...
Because they made it where you could
sense.
mail in. But why didn't they make it where you could vote on your phone instead of mailing in?
First of all, every way you do it is like probably so easy to fuck with.
Hack in. And,
yeah, man, because even like mailing in votes, that seems dumb. That seems like
they
a
could just
stupid
get
idea.
lost or
miscounted
or...
Yeah, man, already with his election, there was, between him and Hillary, there was already this big bunch of bullshit.
And it's a lot easier to get ballots lost if they're in the mail and on paper.
Yeah.
See, digital ones are probably a little bit harder.
Or to forge.
Yeah.
Forge things, make fake
you
ones.
Just have, have warehouses filling out.
There aren't this many people in the country. How are this many people voting?
Well, it's kind of like how all the dead people got stimulus checks. Like that happened on the last the last time we voted too. Is a bunch of dead people voted.
Yeah,
and they just found out people that were recently deceased, but that it hasn't been officially claimed or something. They found it in those days, so they just used a bunch of names of people that were not officially declared dead. And a lot of people in coma, shit like that. They could. It's like, how did they vote?
Fucked up. That's so fucked up. Just like grabbing your uncle that's in a coma's arm and making him like shittily sign something.
Why would that even? Then you're still forging it. It's like, no, it's his hand.
He touched it.
He touched it.
You can
test that.
He touched me too.
He touched me in his sleep. Or somebody touched
somebody.
Let's say that. Oh man, to get some sleep. Oh yeah, some coma head or something. What do you think that would feel like? You'd be in a nice little dream. And it's like somewhere.
Have you ever been? Have you ever been woken up with head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you prefer that?
Favorite.
It's not your favorite. Does it scare you a little bit? Did it start? I've been woken up with head twice.
Yeah,
twice in my life.
I mean, it's a little. I guess it's startling as far as you're not fully awake. But it's more to me. It's like I gotta piss when I wake up.
Oh, so you're like, you better hope you're not gonna get piss in your mouth.
Oh,
that
well,
kind of
see,
thing?
if I'm really asleep and I don't know what's going on, I just feel something moving.
There's
I'm just
something
like,
going
let
on.
it out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know if I'm coming or pissing.
Instead of coming or going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Am I
No,
coming
that
or
still
pissing?
works. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Because, like, I got to go.
Going to the restroom. Yeah, man. So what?
Starting off on a great track so far.
Well, if we're gonna get, we'll get even better. I went to jail, y'all.
Man, you got some clout in the streets now, Dave.
Dude, I've been to jail before, motherfucker. You know me. I'm hard as shit, Britt. No,
You got that
so-
upper body strength.
my wife and I both got arrested, which is hilarious. It's hilarious to me. Would you like to hear what happened?
Yeah, sure. I've been hiding this motherfucker's guns all week.
Well, you haven't been hiding them. They've just been,
They've been
here.
out in the open.
They've been out in the open, just cleaning them, just sitting on the porch cleaning them with my shirt off.
That lets people know.
So what was it last? Fuck, what day was that? Last Saturday? Yeah, last Saturday night.
Or it's Friday night, I think, because we talked Saturday and you were like, we can't do the
No, it was
podcast.
Sunday we talked. It was Sunday we were going to do the podcast. So Saturday night, my wife and I had gotten into an argument about some stupid shit, like something irreverent. It was about the way
or
it was irreverent because it was inconsequential.
yeah.
She
Doesn't
didn't-
irreverent mean like offensive to someone? That's irreverent towards like a church or like a person.
Let's look up.
This is what the internet is for. It's for dumbasses.
Well, at least I know how to spell it.
Lack of respect. So yeah, it's disrespectful to something like
Okay.
if you say something irreverent, it's like yeah.
Oh, so things that are generally taken seriously. Okay, so I mean, to me it still applies.
Okay.
Because it seemed like she didn't like the way I said something to her.
Yeah.
And she held on to it. So
She
my
said
wife,
something.
I love my wife, but she holds on to things. She's a brooder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when things
Kinda
happen,
like that when
and-
I do get mad.
yeah. So but see, I'm kind of the opposite of that. So like,
You just yell about it right away.
I don't yell about it. It's not.
Well, you get it out.
Yeah,
right when you
I
feel
usually
it.
I
See,
usually get
I
stuff out.
Wait,
You ruminate?
well, no, I don't sit and dwell on it. I just wait until I have enough evidence. I do a detective on it. So like, if I get mad about something, I'm like, I'm not sure if I should be mad yet. I'm gonna wait until I have enough evidence to really be upset.
Okay.
And so that's my brew. I'm not really brewing. I'm compartmentalizing it.
Okay.
And then if it comes up again and it's totally justified, now I'm
Yeah.
like, now I'll be angry for
Okay.
all this shit
Okay.
that I've because I didn't know if I should. I didn't know if it was enough.
Yeah.
But that's not really brew because I'm not making it worse. I'm just putting it aside.
Okay.
Until it's
Well, no. So when she gets upset, she like she
Makes
starts
it worse and you're not spiraling.
She starts spiraling out and starts thinking about going back to Canada and like getting a divorce.
I feel her.
So, I feel it. I hate you. Who would want to
when
be
she
with
came
you?
over here, she was just like, Davey's crazy. And I was like, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, he's my best friend. I know he can get crazy. I mean, I know she is too.
Yeah.
But like, also, I know both of you guys are insane sometimes. I
Yeah,
can't imagine.
That's just life, man.
And I told her, I was like, dude, but because she was like, does this happen ever? And I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, Zena was walking down the street. We were screaming in the street the other, like 2 weeks ago.
Which is like
That
par for the
happens.
course around here, especially.
Dude, cops didn't even come. We were yelling in the yard, down the street, nothing happened. I could have fired a gun, and the cops wouldn't come.
Can we split the difference of that ashtray there?
No,
This guy's up in the way.
I love this guy. This is our new dinosaur butt, dinosaur bottom.
Yeah, dinosaur bottom.
Yeah.
Spelled
You want
DYNASORE bottom.
Yeah, I
BTTM.
like this guy. He's just peeking over. We just give him a little peek, and then we got our Todd Berry back there.
Todd back
this
there.
is a fun environment.
I mean, like the podcast is stepping up in a big way.
Yeah.
And everything on the channel. We just want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for all your support and everything. So thank you for watching Loose Beats. Thank you for watching Play Dead. Thank you for watching A Drink and a Joint. And preemptively, thank you for watching Flashback Flicks when I get off my ass and do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one with you. I'll at least let's do the first one together and see how it feels.
I think
it feels like a lot of work.
Well, I think what
you have to make notes.
I think that's the only thing though. So if we each watch the movie separately and take
just
notes,
kind of throughout. Oh yeah, I remember that part. I like this part.
See, if we come together and then film the things that we're going to talk about first, and then I go through and get the scenes from the movie to do that seems like the easiest way. Okay. That way, we don't have to write like a full script. It's just
and watch it through and pause. And
thanks for working that through with us, guys.
Yeah, see,
you guys are awesome. But anyways,
those loose beats are fun now. They're getting fun.
Good.
They're hard because there's like 20 things that could go wrong. My computer's overloading.
Yeah.
The lights. There's just my phone. Oh, either runs out of storage or battery or clicks off because someone texts me or something.
But see,
I started putting it on airplane.
There you go.
But even with that, you have to make sure the notifications turn off then, because I have like this one notification that'll still come up on airplane about a setting or something, and that one will cut the video off. So I have to sometimes I have to do them like 4 times, and sometimes I go all the way through because I don't know the camera shut off, and I'm like screaming. But then when I get it done, but anyway, as it's getting easier, it's a lot of fun.
Well, no, dude, you're a YouTuber now. You know that, right?
I like that shit, dude. Because I get to go through, because now I can go through all these old songs too. Yeah. And start pulling them and just kind of running through them, and it'll be a good place to bring people in and send them to the podcast.
And the cool thing, and I've also been experimenting with putting money on the videos to get some. Turning them into ads. I've been turning the videos into ads, and I've been throwing Toby's. See, you have an almost 80% watch rate on your videos.
That seems really good.
It's fucking amazing for the fact that these people are. But that's the thing, though, is that I'm putting it. I found out that I'm putting them in the right places. I'm putting them in trap. Like when people search for trap beat videos, your video is going to come up as the
in
ad.
Between the stuff. Okay.
So they're already looking for a video like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're going to watch your video even if it's an ad, which is fucking amazing.
See, I've never done that. I've never actually set... I have seen ads that I'm like, wait, how fucking long is this?
Yeah.
When it's a full video. But I don't know. I think it seems to be put in the right place. And
I just wanted to say on the record, I'm very fucking proud of you. I know that this was something that was hard for you. I know that this was difficult for you, and you didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud of you for actually doing it, because this is like this is gonna be our job.
Yeah, this is gonna help a lot.
It's
and it's just fun, man. It's some music.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this will get to the point where this will just, because we're getting fans now. We're getting people that like us.
Yeah.
That are like staying on the channel. So of course we've got people coming in for the Play Dead. We're getting the Dead family, but then we're getting people that will also watch your loose beats.
And those are 2 different markets for us that are really nice. Yeah.
And we're getting people that will watch the podcast too. So these people that are sticking around for all 3, those are our people.
Yeah.
Because I even had
I think it is because I watch a lot of beat tutorials and shit, and they're just also matter of fact. Yeah. A lot of them are British dudes or dudes that just, they're pros. But like sometimes you want to hear it from a friend, and I'm like half drunk and high, and like, I feel like people are like, this is a dude I can relate. I don't put any pressure on you. Like, you can be dumb and watch my videos and learn something.
Because but you're also not
not over explaining.
You're not over explaining. You're expecting people to come in with at least a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
Because again, like you're in Logic Pro. You're Logic Pro X. It's not like you're doing Ableton. You're not doing Pro Tools.
Oh, dude, I'm adding one to my repertoire. I'm learning FL Studio. I just got that recently because I watch some people we work with. I watch how quickly their flow is. Like when Zach does his
shout out, he just dropped some
show
shit.
JDGB just doesn't get better. Is what that stands for. But yeah, he's dropping some. He's got like 30 tracks on each mixtape. He does 30 song mixtapes, dude, and shit. That dude is a beast.
So shout out to Zach.
Yeah,
love you, dude.
But when I see him work, that's the reason I started doing it, because like he'll just put together a beat in 3 to 5 minutes.
Well, because even then, because like his head, that's what he's doing, you know. So his head is just like, he's like, well, I feel this right now.
So I think I'm gonna record on Logic, record my vocals, and do a lot of my editing there, and then make my beats on FL. And then maybe learn Pro Tools or something to do my full mixing. And stuff
apparently,
like that.
It's really good for mastering.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna start spreading it out, because it's just the layout of FL Studio. Like you set out your beat and you can see every track and you can put all your hits on it.
Yeah.
And like you can just export that and it'll just make all your tracks.
Yeah.
And so like you don't have to go in and see how they line up. You can see them all right there. So it seems like a really quick way to pump out some beats, but I'll always be a Logic boy as far as like,
because right now that's you're in that. You know what I mean? Like so
FL's
for now
more of the beat creator.
For
stuff.
now, I would say stick with Logic Pro because
yeah.
that's part of the thing that's getting people to watch you.
But eventually, I'll have the side ones and be like Loose Beats FL Studio.
Dude, once we
style.
have the following, you'll be able to do whatever the fuck you want.
And then once I get good at mixing and mastering, which I'm still mastering, it's still a long process.
Yeah,
but I'm starting to get there, and eventually I'll have stuff on that. But I like adding the lyrics in there. I've been doing that too.
Yeah,
throwing the lyrics up and kind of showing people. So now you see how to build the beat.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the type of thing you could put on it. It's an idea of how to put together words and lyrics. I think that's a thing that no one does either, is because they just show you the beats and they don't, if they do have lyrics, they're really running over the settings, not about the writing.
Because you're more of a one-stop shop for like song production. Not necessarily beat production, but like the entire, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're all encompassing.
That's a cool editing.
No, it's fucking awesome. There's not a whole lot of people doing that.
Yeah. And showing you how to, you know, because that's what I like doing the most, honestly, is the writing part of it.
Well, because you are a writer.
Yeah. And so I just love adding that in there.
Yeah, that's always been your strong suit.
Because people that do make beats, a lot of times are just a little lacking in the songwriting. Right. And you can kind of see, I kind of see how he worked through that and how he put the words. Yeah.
But yeah, man, like especially like I'm so pleased with the way things are going. We just passed 500 subscribers, which is fucking amazing for us.
That's one of our first landmarks.
There. Yeah, man. Like, and that happened fast.
Or checkpoints.
See,
like video
milestones.
Games. Yeah, there you go.
What is yeah.
I was appealing to the gamers.
Yeah.
Checkpoint.
Checkpoint. Milestone. Whatever. Fuck it.
Dude, I want to get a new game. I want to play. I want to do some more live streaming games.
Yeah, you want to get back into the Let's Plays?
We have to, because we're not really good at video games, right. So we have to find new games.
So
when they come out,
if you guys want to watch us fail at video games,
well, that's what I'm saying. With the new games, they can watch us learn. How to play them, and like I think that's as interesting as watching someone that's really good at something.
So, but that's one thing I kind of want to wait until people are asking for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I want there to be
someone there watching it.
Yeah, I want people to like come and hang out with us.
Fun. Yeah, and eventually, that could be a side thing. We do some Twitch or what's the new one? There's a new gamer
platform.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I know Twitch is a big thing that we have a Twitch, but we've never used it.
Oh yeah, I think we did set one up and then
I think we streamed to it once, but nothing happened. And I think it was only like 15 minutes, and we were like, "Fuck it, go back to YouTube."
Yeah, something we didn't like about it. We just weren't used to it.
But yeah, so YouTube's going great. Everything's going great. I'm really proud of us. I'm proud of the strides that we're making. I did have one guy that was like, "Man, I really want." He's like, "I'm trying to get people over to the channel, but I think you'd do a lot better if you just had a Play Dead channel." And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, family is everything. You should know that.
Well, our shows can be on there. Like we can have, like I have a Cushing YouTube channel, and we need a Davvy Kalish one for just the songs, not the production of them, but just the songs. But as far as the shows, I think they're all under the T&D.
That was my thing. Yeah. That was my thing, because this is the channel, and you have shows on your channel.
Yeah.
It's not like, because I'm not going to
just like your mom's house that they used to have Honeydew,
basket.
and Dr. Drew, and then
where my mom's at. And
dude, every once in a while I'll watch Where Your Mom's At, just because I miss the crew and I miss the humor.
Yeah.
You know, and if I'm all out of Your Mom's shit, I'll jump and watch a few minutes of one.
Yeah, so
the one with Susan Pinsky was good. Dr. Drew's wife.
Oh yeah, I bet it was good. Really where they talked about the blowies.
Yeah. They're like, that's why he's so chill. Yeah. He's like getting sucked off.
Four blowjobs a week,
and just getting fucked up. He's got a the sex drive of a young Puerto Rican man. So it's
of a young Puerto Rican man. You'd be knowing that Puerto Ricans be fucking.
No, okay, I think that's the when girls see girls that are hot and they're like, wow, she's so beautiful. Like, I wish I looked like that.
Okay.
The guy version of that is seeing some dude who's like, oh, I bet he fucks.
Yeah.
Dude, I bet
Look
he
at that
get,
dude.
Like, that's what comes to mind when I see some dude like tatted out. He's got like half his head shaved, got chains on and a V cut.
You're
and
like, oh, that
this
dude
gets
fucks.
pussed.
Yeah, this dude fucks.
Yeah. And that's the version of calling a dude handsome, I think, is being like, that dude gets laid.
Yeah.
That's the bro version of thinking someone's beautiful, you know?
I can see that. That's fair.
But
Looking
yeah,
at-
I'll see some dudes and I'll be like, damn. And it pisses me off because I'm like, that's who I am on the inside. And
I'm a dude that fucks.
I just don't, I don't wear it outwardly like they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like that dude looks
You don't
like
be
a
wearing
rapper,
fucking on your sleeve.
but he goes home and does meth. And like, you know, it's like,
But knowing you and having had known you for so long, I can attest that Toby fucks.
oh, I fuck hard. I give my all.
Toby's a pump and dump.
Yeah. And dude, I'm a heavy smoker, so these days I'm getting myself worn out. I'll be having to catch my breath and shit after fucking.
There are like, especially before I stopped smoking.
Yeah.
There were some times definitely like after some fucking, I'd be like, I need a minute.
My heart.
Yeah.
There's some times where I'm like, I better come quick because my heart's about to jump out. I'm about to have a heart attack. It's not. I mean, it's a good way to go, but it's also like a traumatic way to go for the other person.
Yeah, I'm too young to die fucking.
You can't die on top of somebody. They'll never get over that.
No, that's something. Yeah, that's something that you don't die on a woman.
That's like
for her.
That's an old dude thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like he died on top of me and I couldn't. There's those stories too
he
where
popped
they
one
couldn't.
too many Viagra,
Yeah.
and his heart gave out.
I actually know the guy I bought my car from. He has this story of this guy who like was giving him I forget what he called them, the red roosters or something.
Dude,
and it was this aftermarket.
Did you tell me this or did your dad tell me this?
Maybe my dad. He knows him too. He went to church with him and shit. But he was an older dude and he was getting with this like early 20s girl, wanted to impress her, and they got these black market Viagras. They were supposed to be for like 4 times as strong. You're only supposed to take like a quarter.
Oh my
and he was
God.
like, I'm gonna pop 2 and pound this 20-year-old out, and died on top of her, and she couldn't get his body off of her.
Oh my
and had to call. She had to call and wait for them because I guess he was a big dude, or maybe she was really small or something. Because
Oh my
that's the
God.
traumatic thing is the limpless body, and you're waiting on the ambulance to
Oh
come.
my God, because guys, if
she
you
had to
don't
be
know,
close enough to a phone, or she
Yeah.
would have been stuck there.
Dude, if you guys don't
have
know,
your phone close if you're fucking an old dude.
a body that has gone limp is much heavier than
Yeah.
a body that is alive. Just
And
saying.
we know this because why? Don't ask.
Well, have you ever had anybody dead weight you? That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
that term comes from.
Yeah, dead weight. What, have you never moved a body, a lifeless body?
You ain't never moved a lifeless body before? Psh, we've been friends for forever. We've moved lifeless bodies.
Those muscles not twitching up and kind of supporting themselves just
Well,
adds like 10 pounds.
The reason I know it is because when we lived in L.A., there were a few people who overdosed in that house.
Oh, yeah.
And I dragged them to the street because we had drugs in that house, and I wasn't about to
They
let.
couldn't die on the property?
I wasn't going to let them die in the house because then cops get to come in and search the house.
So if they die on the street, they look like they just shot up on the street? Is that
Or you
what-
tell them you found them out there.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Because like when I took people out to the side, because
Oh my God,
at that
so
house there was the
fucked up.
gate, there was the
Yeah.
gate out front. So I would take them outside of the gate, put them like
Lean 'em
sit
up
them
against
up
the wall.
against the
Oh,
gate.
isn't that some dark shit, dude?
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up that I had to deal with that, but no one else was going to do it. But it was one of those things of like, hey,
We're all gonna be fucked,
there are other
yeah.
drugs in this house.
Yeah.
Do you like? Are you don't know this person? This person just
Yeah.
came here to get high, and
we
it's
can't-
on
we can't
you.
call an ambulance on them, yeah.
Yeah, it's on you that this person is overdosing, but okay, I'll take them out to the street.
It's so sad because they could have taken like half of that and still gotten really high
Yeah.
and not gotten close to death. I mean,
LA,
sometimes
man.
you don't know the potency. That's what gets people. That's like my friend Jared. Like I've seen him go out so many times, go blue and just dead. And his thing was like he would do the same amount no matter what it was, but he wouldn't test it first. So sometimes he would get stepped on shit and he wouldn't get high, and then sometimes he'd get really powerful shit.
Right.
And he'd do the same amount, and that's the problem. So like when you get new drugs, just not promoting it, but if you get new hard drugs, do a tiny bit first
Do a tester.
to see where it is, you know? Don't
Yeah.
jump to your point or whatever you do. Like do just a little bit, see how powerful it is, and then you can judge how much you need.
Yeah, do that tester, guys. Always test your product.
Because that's that shit's sad, and we've lost so many friends to it. Like so many people that I went to high school with have gone. We lost. There was 3 this year. We remember Tyler Carroll. He's gone.
What?
You remember him, right?
Of course I remember Tyler.
Yeah, that's one that we lost this year.
Man. He was always like bright-eyed, man. Damn.
I didn't mourn his death that much because I knew him when he dated our other friend Whitney, and he was a good guy when he started out. So when we were like, he went to my high school, and he loved to play acoustic guitar and
right.
smoke
That's how we
weed.
met him. He'd come over to Kat's house
and he'd play some shitty guitar, and but he was fun. He was nice and fun. But then he got really deep into heroin, and Whitney was dating him and trying to leave him. But
I didn't know that this was that guy to her. I didn't know that this was that guy.
So she was trying to get off it and trying to get away from him because he was he got abusive as the time went on. This is brand us on this.
Just throwing out some branding.
So he was getting abusive. He was so the thing that was the most fucked up was that when she was trying to leave, he'd wait until she was asleep and shoot her up to keep her on it.
Oh my God.
So she'd wake up high and then be withdrawing and need more, and then she'd try to get off of it, go to sleep, and he kept her there.
Holy
and
fuck.
kept her basically drugged her and sedated her. So at the darkest time of his life, it made me feel like, well, maybe he started going in and out of jail and stuff. Like I didn't mourn him as much as I could have if he had stayed that bright-eyed boy, because at first he was a good kid, but he just got in some dark places with heroin and
fucking time's a bitch.
But anyway, it is sad that he's gone. Our other friend, Madison Deal, do you know her?
Yeah, I remember Madison.
Yeah, we lost her this year. And there was a third one, too. Like, there's just a lot of people that I either went to high school with or, just was acquaintances
I thought Madison was a couple years ago.
She may have been.
I thought that was a couple years ago now. Yeah. Yeah, man, I remember when that happened. That sucks, man.
She actually was, like, I didn't know anything bad about her.
Wasn't that the thing? I feel like she
when
died
I knew her,
of withdrawal
she didn't do heroin.
in
She
jail.
was she did like light psychedelics. She wouldn't even do like coke and shit when I knew her. And so something snapped, like bad relationship, something pushed her off. And so I do feel really bad about that one, just because she didn't deserve it. She didn't do anything real fucked up. Yeah. But it's sad. It gets a hold of people, and opiates just run rampant.
Remember to tell people you love them, guys. Remember to do that.
Tell them to slow down.
Yeah, clean their life up,
man.
Yeah, man.
That'll take people quick. Like, meth heads, they'll be 8 years old, they'll have no teeth, but they're still alive.
And again, man, there's no shame in getting help. There's no shame in asking for help or getting help.
Because I also know people that will do it forever, but they do really light amounts just to get right or whatever, just to get normal, and it helps them with their pain, shit like that. Our close friend Greg, he's gotten off of them now. But there was like 10 years where he was on opiates every day. But he'd take like 2.5 milligrams of hydro or something to help with his pain, to get his head right.
Because he always had really, wasn't it back pain?
Yeah.
Really bad back pain.
But again, there are some people that use it forever that can handle it and that have a lot of restraint. But the people that are just trying to get higher and higher and that are miserable are the ones that end up ODing. And it just makes me sad.
Okay.
Okay.
Fuck. Back to my jail story.
Yeah. So this is just dark,
So again,
putting people on sidewalks, they're talking about friends that are dead, talking about jail.
Yeah, but anyways, bro, whatever. Again, not dogging on my wife. I love my wife. She's awesome. She really is. She's like one of the nicest people on the planet, unless you piss her off. And she'll do anything for you. She's definitely a mom. You know what I mean? She's definitely
looking out for you.
Yeah, always. Yeah. Well, she's always the let me take care of you.
She does that to me as Zena. She does that to everybody. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you pooping good?
Yeah, do you need anything?
Yeah, like, been feeling okay."
Yeah, so she's genuinely a caretaker, which also makes her a very sensitive person.
I can see that.
So the good,
because she's always working on her mental health and stuff, and so when something it really stands out, you know. If something toxic comes into her mind, it really stands out because she really tries to stay clean.
Right. So when because we went out, this whole thing started because we went out we always walk the dogs. Usually most of the days I'll start by running the dogs 1.5 miles, and then we'll take them out later in the afternoon together. So we took the dogs over to the park, but there was this guy outside of our house. So people have been parking on that street beside our house a lot more recently.
Yeah.
And it sketches me out because here recently we've been buying a bunch of like
and y'all
shit.
Your cars used to get busted into a lot.
So like I'm hyper aware of that shit. So like when we went out on the porch to start getting the dogs ready for that walk, I look out and there's this dude sitting in his car on his phone looking at me on my porch. So he's like, he's on his phone. And he's looking at me. I don't think he can tell that I see him, but he's looking at me.
Oh, okay. He thinks he's hidden. But he's on the phone. He's watching you.
Yeah. So when we walk outside, I'm like, hey, and there's a park right next to our house. And I was like, hey, do you care if we just like stick to the park and just kind of like walk around the park a few times? Because I want to keep an eye on this dude. And she was like, yeah, whatever. But we're walking around the park and she looks like she's got a little stank on her. She looks a little perturbed about something.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who's like, hey, what's up? What's wrong? What's going on? Because I don't think that there should ever be really any problems. I'm definitely the guy that wants everything to be chill,
over with or out of the way.
Yeah. So like, what's going on? It looks like because I can feel you. That's one thing. I'm very tuned into people because like if there's something up with you, I'm always like, what's up, man? What's going on? What can we do? Like, and I don't necessarily feel like I always have to fix what's wrong, but I want to help if I can.
Yeah.
I want to do what I can.
Something's going on. Let's
hash it out. Let's talk it out. Whatever. But to her, that can be kind of annoying, which I can see.
She sees you as the always trying to fix something.
I'm always there, so I'm always the person asking her what's up.
Yeah.
So of course that can probably be annoying. But we're like halfway through the park or whatever, and I'm like, "What's up?" And then she says nothing, and that doesn't help me at all.
That's what girls say when everything's wrong.
So I was like, "What's up?" And she's like, "Nothing." I was like, "Did you want to walk further?" Because it seemed like she was upset.
She was upset because you were
just sticking around the park.
Yeah.
But I had a reason for that. But I was like, do you want to go further? And she was like, well, yeah.
But you can finish the walk. I'll watch this guy.
Well, no, I was like, well, then let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, because again, like I believe happy wife, happy life. That's just the way it is. Because like she comes first to me. Yeah. Like I'll always put her first. So like it doesn't even matter if in the moment I'm just like, fuck it, I'll give you what you want. I'll always be okay.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to stay upset during the rest of this walk, but it's just like for that split second of us continuing to go farther, I'll just kind of be like, ugh.
A little nervous.
But even then, I'll get over it. So that was my thing is like, so I started to walk away from the park and she was like, well, what are you doing? And I was like, what? I just want to give you what you want.
You want to go further.
Yeah. And maybe I said it with a little bit of attitude. I was like, I just want to give you what you want. I was
like, you just let me go.
I'm just trying to give you what you want. And then she was like, no, let's do this. And I was like, just let it be known that I'm trying to give you what you want because I am a caring, loving husband.
Don't forget.
And I said that out loud to her. I said those words. I was like, just let this be known that I'm trying to give you what you want because I'm a caring, loving husband. And so that just upset her more, which of course. But we get back to the house.
Is it because it came across as you being like sassy?
Yeah, she didn't
just
think
so you know,
she didn't think I was being genuine.
Yeah,
she didn't think I was being real. Which I am though. Even if in that moment, like I'm not gonna say shit I don't mean. I'm too old for that shit now. I'm not gonna say shit I don't mean. So if I say, "Hey, let's go further," I just want you to have what you want. That genuinely mean that. I just want you to have what you want. Because I do. It's like, I want her to have what she wants. I want me to have what I want. I want you to have what you want, Toby. So you, the viewer, I want you to have what you want.
But you can't always get what you want.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite one is you can't always get the drugs you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get the drugs you need.
Yeah.
But anyways, we get back to the house, and so she's upset about that. She's upset that I was that way.
Yeah.
Apparently. And she's had a problem with me. Maybe like sometimes I'll get a little snippy at points. But again, guys, I'm a recovering addict. So we have these things called character defects. And sometimes your character defects come out in weird ways.
You do get snappy sometimes. I've seen you. Like you just you get a little short. Like, and it seems like you do it at work a lot. Yeah. Because you'd be so frustrated and then you'd make everything seem like a burden or everything like, oh, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Every little thing. And then it makes you feel like, well, I can't do anything. But maybe that's what she's saying. It's like because then she tries to become the fixer and to help you.
Well, right. It seemed more like her thing was that she was she doesn't like that that's an aspect of our relationship. That was the thing. She was like, this is one thing that I've been asking you to fix for our entire relationship is like you being a dick sometimes. And it's like, well, you know, I hear you and I'm working on it. I was like, does it happen as much as it used to? And she's like, no. And I was like, that's progress.
That's progress. Yeah.
I was like, I can't
now,
promise
there are
you.
certain, I have the same kind of things. Like, there are character defects that will always be there a little bit.
I mean, I'm always a work in progress, man. Like, I'm always trying to work on it.
That's something at a certain point, I think, that you get to a point to where, like, well, damn, it's not that you accept that they're going to be shitty, but they have to accept that sometimes you're going to be a certain way that upsets them because that's built into your character.
Yeah.
You know, so even if you're working on it and get better, there will always be the hint of this thing because of how deep it's set in.
Sometimes there are parts of me that are always going to kind of be a little bit of a bitch sometimes, but that's everybody. Yeah. Everybody's got that little bit of bitch in them.
Dude, me and Zine got in a fight the other day, like a pretty mean fight for a second over what incest truly is. Like we should fight about the stupidest shit because we were watching Two Bears while we were working, and he starts doing the Jennifer Aniston thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where he acts like he meets Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
First off, I thought it was real and I paused it.
Yeah.
But he said something wrong. He said, she was like, do you know Ross? And he's like, yeah, that's your brother. And she goes, a lot of people don't know that. And that's why I looked it up, and there's this huge fan theory that Ross and Rachel were brother and sister, and there's like lots of hints in the show that they adopted her, and so they live side by side, and that it was a show about incest, like in theory. And so we just get off on the thing of like, she's talking about medical incest.
Okay.
And so that was her thing, was like, well, that's not incest. She didn't have the same parents. She just lived with them. Yeah. And I was like, but no, that would have been his stepsister. And that isn't, you know. And so we just got in this very heated argument over the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
And see, that's just living with someone for a long time.
Yeah. you're gonna argue about inconsequential bullshit. You will sometimes. But the thing is how you deal with it. It's the coping mechanisms that allow you to
get past it.
Well, that and to like learn how to argue.
Because you do want to talk about things. You want to be able to discuss things freely, but just not bring emotion into it. And it's a checks and balances kind of thing. You got to watch the other one. Yeah. And be like, yo, look at yourself right now. Which is hard to say, especially to a psycho. It's also hard to hear. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's hard for someone to be like, dude, if you could see yourself right now, be like, what the fuck do you say? You don't think I see myself clearly?
Yeah, so I think you're going to really enjoy parts of this story. So I'm the kind of guy who lets stuff go pretty quick. Yeah. If I have like 5 minutes to myself, like if we're in the middle of something and I take 5 minutes, I'm good.
It's all gone.
Yeah. Well, at least to the point where I can be, I can be
apologize
discharged,
or like,
or whatever. I can try to approach it with less emotion or no emotion. So we get back to the house and we're trying to deal with it, and we get into a little bit more of an argument about it because I didn't feel like I did anything like untoward. Like I didn't feel like I did anything like that was wrong. Really, nothing for her to be like
too dramatic for her, and she took it too deeply or something.
Something like that. It felt like she was being a little bit too sensitive to the moment, or misread me, or mistook what I was saying because I was being genuine in saying I want you to have what you want.
Yeah, but like, she heard that in
the worst way possible.
Yeah, in a bitchy tone or something.
So she's upset, and so she starts like rage cleaning a room and just like kind of like running it over in her head. But she's on like the other side of the house, so I'm like in the living room
banging gruts.
Yeah, so I'm just like chilling, smoking weed, watching TV, and
trying to calm down.
Well, I was calm. I was fine. Like it was over for me. But then she comes back in and is like, "This is an issue with our relationship." Yeah, she came back at another level. But no, she's
been arguing there with you in her head. For a while, and came back in the midst of an argument.
Yeah, so she was real upset, and then she comes back and she's still upset, and she gets to these points where she'll like want to talk, but she doesn't want to make anything better yet. She basically just wants to put me through the ringer. Like, kind of, but she's still kind of being mean. So if I'm like, well, this is
she
how
wants to punish you a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe that's what it is.
She's not ready to actually talk it through. She wants you to know how she feels, make you feel.
Well, it's one of those things where she's like blaming me for the situation. She's like, this is an issue. This is a thing that you do. This is a thing that you haven't changed. And you say you're going to work on it, but you never work on it. I'm like, it does not happen anywhere near as bad as it used to, nor as frequently. So it's better.
So it's getting better.
I'm working on it. Like, I'm constantly working on myself. I'm checking myself all the time because I have to. Yeah. Being in recovery, I have to. I wake up and I start checking myself because I have to, because I don't view reality properly.
And relationships are harder every year. You know, every year we with someone, there's like, it's just at the point.
I don't know if it gets harder, but there are new challenges.
Or the reason I say it gets harder is because I think it's easy to let things go when you first meet someone. And as you grow on, it's like, you know how they say, like, everything you see is quirky, you will hate someday.
Okay, yeah.
So when you meet someone, you're like, oh, that's funny, that's cute. Eventually drives you mad, you know? And so that's why I think you just take less and less from them every year. Because at first it is kind of funny, but then eventually, like, I can't believe that this is the thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I have so many of those. Yeah. I'm just a bundle of shit that seems quirky if you just met me, but will drive you crazy after knowing me for a while.
But yeah, so she comes back into the living room and she's still triggered. She's still argumentative. And I'm trying to not be. But when she's telling me that this is inherently an issue with me as a person and she has no part in it whatsoever. But see, some of that stuff I can take because again, I used to be a real shitty person. So like if you still kind of view me in that way, it's like you
take some responsibility for it.
I will always take responsibility for my half of things, but only my half. I'm not going to take all of it. Yeah. Like I will always take responsibility for my part of something. Always. Because I have to. Or I'm not being true. I'm not being true to myself. Like I'm not witnessing myself properly. So I have to be willing to see myself in a negative light and accept it and try to work past it. That's what everybody should do. Yeah. You should always be willing to accept and apologize for the things you need to accept and apologize for. So again, I was saying those things. I was like, hey, I'll accept my part, but I'm not going to take all of this. I was like, you know, you do the same things that you're this upset with me for. Yeah. I was like, so why don't I get this upset with you? I was like, you're telling me that this hurts your heart and you can't be in a marriage that this happens in, but you do this exact same thing, but I don't feel it this deeply. I was like, is there something wrong with me?
It doesn't affect you the same way it affects her.
But like, I don't take it. I just don't take it as seriously.
Some things will probably reverse that. Some things, it drives you crazy when she does it, but it doesn't drive her crazy when you do. I think there's certain things that you're more sensitive to.
Maybe, but again, my wife is like 5'2". She's tiny, and I'm 6'4". I'm a very large man.
Yeah, I never realized you were a foot taller than her. That's crazy.
So she has this kind of... But see, she might actually hear this, but I love you. She has.
This show's about relationships. No, this episode's freedom in relationships.
Yeah, the freedom thing's gone. But I think the oh shit. Well, she has a little bit of a Napoleon complex. So
it's scrappy.
She's scrappy with her words. Like she has said shit to me that I would never say to someone that I love.
And on a biological level, somewhat to level the playing field.
I guess.
With your size.
I guess it's something like that.
That's totally a thing, right? It's like little dudes will get jacked and learn to fight better than a big dude a lot of times just to make up for the difference. You know?
But see, she goes for the jugular with her words. Like, and she's good at it.
Because she feels like you could take her. And she's like, well, this is where I can dominate.
Yeah. But so even when she comes to me slightly calmed down, she's still like, if I say something, she's still going to be like, yeah, well, you fucking don't keep your word. And it's like, whoa, now we're past saying shit like that. Stop
hitting me in my core.
But she won't admit that she's like that.
She jumps to
the stab. Yeah. Oh, every time. But see, again, though, like I've learned, I know that about her, but I know she doesn't mean it. So like that's the disconnect is where.
Well, does she talk to you about it a lot of times later and say like that was too far? I'm sorry.
Every time she does it, I'm saying I'm sorry. Like it sucks that you're gonna have to apologize for this later. It's like I wish you didn't say shit like this. But she does go back
and like say like that was too far.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then she's fully aware. of it then. If she didn't think she was doing something wrong, it'd be a bad problem.
But see, I married someone just as stubborn as me, because so in those moments, like, she's not going to admit it. She's not going to do that in those moments. So her leaving upset and coming back upset happens 3 times.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, hey, no, just like stop it. And she'll walk away, and then she'll come back 20, 30 minutes later and do like, again, just replaying that again. And like, she's still upset. She comes
too much
in,
free time that day.
she comes in and says, I'm ready to talk. But she really means that she's ready to continue fighting.
Yeah.
And she's still not letting go of the fact that she acts like this is my issue that I'm not handling. And it's a problem with the way I treat her. Like she says this thing sometimes, like, I'm a mean man, and it's like I don't know.
But you're not cutthroat, like
no, like, I'm not a mean man. Like, there are times where I can be a little bit snippy or bitchy.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
But you're not the juggler,
man.
Dude. You don't go and destroy her,
right?
Like that.
Right. I'm not gonna destroy her character.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna assassinate.
But
her
you're gonna
character.
be bitchy. For
yeah,
a while.
I can be a little bit bitchy.
Yeah, I understand.
So this happens a few more times, and then she decides that she's done, because I wouldn't yield, because it was one of those things where it's like, I could have fixed that by going and apologizing. I could have fixed it several times over by going and apologizing, but that's what I always do. That's what I always do. I always end up having to be the one that's like, I was wrong, I'm sorry, even when I'm not.
Yeah,
that's just what I've learned is the way to do it, because like if I
then she can think about it clearly.
Yeah.
Like, once you get past that point.
But that day, I didn't want to do it. I was like, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to wait for her to calm down and come to me. That was the wrong choice.
Sounds like the wrong choice. Jail.
Because jail. So she comes back, and then this is the last time she and I still wouldn't yield, because I was like, we have to admit that this is a thing with us. I was like, because again, you do the same thing, but I don't take it as seriously. So does that mean that there is something wrong with me, that I'm not taking these things to heart as much?
What did you mean by that? You were thinking that, like, why am I not offended by this?
Well, yeah, I was like, why doesn't this stuff hurt me this bad? Because if she does the same thing to me, do I not care? Am I fucked up? But I do care. And I mean, I am fucked up, but like, it's to a point where it's just like, I know that when she says those really mean things, that she doesn't really mean them. Yeah. But then she decided that she was actually done, and then got her computer and started filing for divorce.
Jesus.
Like, to the point of where she paid for it.
What?
Yeah.
Why did she jump that far?
It's habitual.
Because I mean,
she felt scared. So what she does is, in her head,
there's no reason of why you being a little bitchy one day should jump that far.
Well, to her, it's compounding. You know, to me, it's a thing of like, it's today, but to her, it's like, it's these things
that
these things that snowball.
Gonna be like, she's thinking it's gonna be like this forever. I can't live like that. She gets, but that's blowing it out of proportion, because she wake up and be like, what did I divorce him for?
Right, right.
For not wanting to walk out of the park? Was that it?
But
it's hard to get perspective on that when your mind's spiraling out.
Yeah, when you're in it, it's hard.
I relate a lot to her in the fighting styles sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I spiral out and I'll get psycho. And then, again, I do need the 5-10 minutes, because normally I'll spend 5-10 minutes and be like, damn, dude, I don't want to lose her. I said some fucked up things, and I'll apologize.
Yeah.
But it's like, with her, when she takes those minutes alone, she doesn't give herself time to relax and get over it. She just spirals it out more, you know?
Well, see, that was the thing that, well, I know this is jumping ahead a little bit, but that was one thing that we had to agree on, was that when we take space, taking that space is purely to calm down. It is
not to dwell on.
You're right. Yeah. It is for nothing more than to calm down so we can talk about it.
Yeah, because then you can come back calm and then dwell on it.
Because I take timeouts to calm down. She takes timeouts to brood.
Yeah.
To dwell and to make things bigger.
Yeah.
And her big thing is that she's so far away from her family. And she's so family oriented that it hurts her to be this far from her family for so long. So to her, it is like, I'm choosing this shitty dude in Tennessee over my loving family.
Or even like, when she doesn't feel like you're there for her, she's like, this is the only person I have, and they're not there for me.
Right.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
And I get that. But that doesn't mean, that means we should be stronger instead of weaker in those moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's not like I'm keeping her. Like, she can do whatever she wants. You know, it's not one of those things where I'm Yeah, thank you. It's not one of those things where I'm
Davvy
trying to
smoking
control
again. At least just for a week.
I'll get to it. I like that this is the episode because like we're already over an hour. We're like an hour in.
Yeah, we should do a long one though. We missed.
Yeah, we missed last week, and again, this is because of jail.
Yeah, this is all about learning yourself.
Yeah,
the show's gotten very introspective now.
Yeah, but hopefully we will always find a. I think that I'm gonna go ahead and say that that is the last one we'll miss. That's the last podcast we'll miss.
Yeah, we're gonna be on this.
But so she decides that she's done. She's filing divorce paperwork. In our front, we have a spare bedroom that she kind of turns into. So she's kind of turned into her like she shed, almost.
Yeah,
it's like her meditation room or whatever.
That name for some reason seems so derogatory. Doesn't
she
it?
shed. It almost sounds
the man
dirty.
cave versus a she shed. Mm-hmm. I just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't give it respect. It seems like it was created by a dude, right? A guy made up. Would
you think it'd be called a lady den?
Yeah. A woman's den.
Yeah,
it sounds a lot better than a sheesh.
A womb room.
A womb room. That's really good. Oh, pussy shack.
Okay.
No, that was just as offensive but funny.
Okay, so
now pussy shack sounds like. The pussy shack.
Yeah.
Pussy shack.
So she's in that front room and she's filing for divorce, and I walk in and I'm like, what are you doing? I walk into that front room because like again, like
it's been too long or something. It's just taking too long to come back.
I walk in and then she's like, I'm filing for divorce. And I was like,
your jaw dropped.
I was like, okay.
What?
So I was like, just so you know, I was like, if you do this, you fucked us. I was like, just so you know, if you go through with this, you fucked us. I don't take responsibility for this. You fucked us. That's what I said to her. And then she came. I was like, oh, and she doesn't like that. We almost got it solved at one point. We almost got it solved at one point. And so we're sitting on the couch. We almost got it solved. We were calmed down, and it got to a point where I was getting a little animated because it was one of those things where she wasn't going to yield. Because I was like, this is something we both do. We have to figure this out. And she's like, no, this is something you do. And it's like, I started getting a little more animated. I was like,
hysterical or
no, because you know me, when I'm like getting into something, my voice will raise a little bit. It doesn't mean I'm yelling.
Show me a little piece of you being animated mad.
Oh, well, I'm not mad. It's just my voice is getting a little louder and I'm using my hands a little bit more. I'm just trying to get you to understand what I'm saying. I'm doing hand motions. My voice is a little louder. I've got a little bit more bass in my voice, but I'm not yelling and I'm not being like,
That's when you're getting serious, though. Yeah. When you're more emphatic, right?
So that's happening and she's like, whoa, do you need a minute? And I was like, fuck yeah, I need a minute. And she gets up and like she said something and I was like,
you're like, that's it right there?
No, I was like, I either said you're being irate or don't be irate or you're getting irate. It was something like that. I said irate. And then she lost her shit. She lost her shit on me. She got in my face, started yelling.
Is it because she felt like you were being irate?
Yeah.
And she was being calm?
Yeah. And then but see, I wouldn't have said that word.
It's like calling a girl crazy.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You make someone crazy by, oh, you think I'm being crazy? You want to see crazy?
Yeah. So that's when she decided.
That's when that attitude of like, oh, they think this is. I'll show you. Fucking crazy.
So that is when she decided to go file for divorce.
What was your almost solution? So you almost.
Well, no, we had calmed down and we were talking through it, but it got to a point.
You almost gotten to a point where you're like, I do this. I accept it, but it's something we need to work on.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever to fix this. And then she was like, yeah, but I'm not doing anything wrong. And I was like, I don't accept that. And then she said something, and then that's when I said, you're being irate. But she has a thing about me saying stuff behind her back. But like literally when her back is to me. Not like behind her back, but like literally behind her.
Huh.
Like I'm shit talking.
But that's weird because she can hear you. You know she can hear you.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to hide it.
That's very strange to me that's such a individual thing for her, because like if someone says something while your back's turned to you,
yeah.
Now I could understand I don't like under the breath.
Yeah,
shit. See,
Now,
when I'm walking away and like,
now, see,
what the fuck did you just say?
Now, see, I don't do that, but I will. Like, if you're walking away,
say something, you're trying to get the last word in or something.
So if I'm walking away or I'm out of the room, like I'll keep talking. Like I will.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but see, it's always at a volume she can hear because I don't do that shit.
See, I don't like under the breath. I would get that.
I would
get that pissing. What the fuck did you say it to my goddamn face? Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's leached or leaking off. I don't know what word I'm looking for.
But I'll always say it to your face.
It's branched off of the under the breath switch in people's mind of like, oh, they're trying to say you say that to my face. Like you're being a pussy right now because you won't say it.
Yeah.
But you saying it at full volume when her back's turned in her mind is like, I guess that same trigger. Yeah. That same kind of thing.
It must be. And I believe that's what it is. But so that's when she finally lost her shit and she was, she was done. So she went and she got her computer, started doing the divorce thing. And then I walked in the front room and I was like, yo, if you do this, you fucked us. Like this one's on you if you do this, if you go through with it. So then she walks back out to confront me again. Like this is all hazy to me now because this is a week ago now. Yeah. I can barely remember 3 days ago. So she comes back out and she's got her phone and she's recording. She's doing a voice recording, a voice memo. Now, just to give you guys a peek into now this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me to say this shit because these are not my finest moments as a human being.
Yeah. But this is a new angle for our show here. Yeah. It's the times where we actually take some time to learn ourselves and talk about real issues.
Well, this episode's probably going to be called Davvy Went to Jail.
It's not always comedy around here. We all have real lives.
Oh yeah, we're shitty comedians.
Yeah, so obviously.
I even told Ivy that today. I was like, hey, so because she's doing a lot of like critical thought about her YouTube channel and stuff about what she wants to do. And I was like, the angle that Toby and I take is like, I was like, we're shitty comedians.
So we get real every once in a while.
Yeah, I was like, we're shitty comedians that like do music. I was like, that's kind of our thing. It's like we're shitty comedian stoners that do music. That's like our lane.
Yeah. We're not claiming to be professionals.
Oh my God, no.
Not at
either
comedy.
Anything.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting there on music because music we take seriously. I think that's the difference. I don't really have the capacity to like sit down hours and think about premises for jokes and write them out. And, I just don't have the love for it like that. I'd rather, but I like it like this. I like us just, peppering jokes into a real conversation.
Yeah.
Like that works for me.
So,
we get so meta.
So she comes back out and she's recording me on her phone. Now again is
that a trigger for you?
Well, it's a little peek into our old fights. Because what used to happen is when we would get into a big argument, so I would want to leave, but what she'd do is she'd take my phone and go and hide it.
So you couldn't leave and call anyone,
right? So I couldn't do anything. Yeah. So she comes at me with her phone recording, and I know she's recording me. So she comes in. Was she hiding it? No, she wasn't hiding it. She's like holding her phone, and I can see the little red dot on the top that she's recording. And she,
I would have been like, "Fuck!" like yelling.
Listen. So
you want it on record? I'll give you something to record.
That is what happened. Yeah. So so she comes out with that. So in our old fights, so she would take my phone, and sometimes. And there are times too when like we're getting really upset and she'll pretend to be a victim. So like she's getting upset and like I'll take a step towards her and she'll like kind of clam up like I'm gonna hit her or hurt her. And like first of all, guys, I would never just haul out and punch a woman or like beat a woman.
And you haven't given her any signs that like she's
the worst thing that I've done to
because then that makes you mad. You're like, I'm not doing it. Like,
I'm not that guy. I'm not just gonna haul
like
and
She acts scared, but she knows you're not gonna.
Exactly. So like,
dude, Xena's the opposite. She'll like punk me, dude.
Oh fuck!
Because I've never touched her or done anything.
Yeah.
But when because she's like such a sweet, caring, kind.
That's how you know
person.
She's broken.
But when she does a snap. Like that's her thing. She doesn't get progressively. She doesn't dwell. Doesn't get progressively mad.
But there's a point.
She jumps to rage. Right. She goes from regular to rage. And I'm the other type that slow build.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, I started rage.
No, I start trying to be calm, and then I get it again. I like collect evidence, and I get enough proof that I have to prove to myself that I'm mad, or like why I should be mad.
Toby forms a dossier,
dude.
He comes out with his reading glasses and a file.
Dude, we wrote on our board in there, our dentist systems for each other.
Okay,
and mine was let's see, it was oh shit! What was the first one? I'm trying to think of the T.
Is it her name?
Well, it was my. She did mine, and I did hers.
Okay,
and mine was like
zoology.
It was like collect. I can't remember the name, but basically it was like I like to collect information. Yeah. My B was build a case. My O was observe outcome from the collected information, and then Y was yield results. So it was like, that's what I do is like I collect, I make sure I'm justified in being angry, and then now I'm there.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And she just gets emotional. And there's a difference. I have a logical approach to being mad.
Yeah.
I have to make a good case for being angry. She just feels angry and then blows up. But yeah, she's not the type to play victim. She like, because she knows I would never touch her. I've shown no signs of that. So her thing is being like, oh, you think you can be mean to me? Like, I'll fucking hit you. You know?
Oh,
she
shit.
goes, bro, shit. And like, and then I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm hands up. That's the point where like, I'm not fighting you.
Yeah.
Like, it genuinely, she probably scares me a little bit because like she could beat me up and I go to jail. Probably. Like, I don't know.
We'll get to that too.
Yeah. But yeah, I see what she's saying. Like, because I feel like that. I don't over victimize myself, but I throw my hands up to be like, just like what, like the police pulled a gun on you, you'd be like, I'm not attacking you.
Yeah.
Like if this is on camera, you can clearly see I'm giving up.
Okay. So yeah. So that's something that has happened before. So she will like over victimize herself in those moments and pretend to be scared of me. So that's happened before. So when I saw that she was recording, she got in my face about something, and then so I snatched her phone. And then every time
paper. Oh, you grabbed her phone.
I grabbed her phone. So now I am holding her phone. And every time she would take a step towards me to try to get her phone, I would scream bloody murder.
Oh.
Every time.
Whoa.
Every time
I've
she
never
came
seen
near me.
That side
but like
of you.
screaming, like a girl, like screaming.
Yeah.
Like
so
not,
she reaches you like,
yeah. Yeah. Like, oh no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. Ah! Like that shit. Like I'm doing
so it was
that.
on record? Were you consciously making it to where like, if this is on recording, you can hear it. Like it sounds like she's attacking me.
Yes.
Weirdly, that's smart.
And literally, and I know that, like literally what I'm doing is like, and what I'm doing is, so I'm calmly walking around the house, like walking laps around the house while she's chasing me trying to get her phone. And every time she comes near me to get it, I scream. I'm screaming bloody murder. No, stop. Don't touch me. Put it down. There's so much blood.
Put it down.
Yeah.
What? You did not say there's so much blood.
I did. Yeah. What? Because at one point she told me when she got real mad and in my face before she went and did the divorce thing, she told me she wished she could stab me in the gut.
That's a crazy. That was the line for me. I was like, there's so much blood. Because don't touch me, put it down. You can be like, she was holding a bat and threatening me, and I didn't want her to hit me.
Right.
Oh, wait, how are you going to prove there was blood?
Right.
Anyway?
No, but that's the thing, though.
But you're so crazy. You might have cut yourself and left some blood.
No, the whole thing, I was making fun of her.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Oh, you're making fun of her. Acting afraid of you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that was my whole thing. That was my whole thing, was just I was making fun of her. But she did not.
You're showing her what she was doing.
She did not get that. She was terrified. She thought I had like, because she was in the middle of divorcing me. So it was one of those things where she told me later that she thought I was going to murder her because of how I was acting. Because she couldn't tell that I was.
She couldn't wrap her head around
the fact that I was being meta.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, he snapped.
Yeah. She thought I had broken.
Yeah.
She thought I was trying to keep her, like, which was not what was happening.
But why would you be yelling that stuff if you were about to murder her? Oh, to make it. Yep. Oh, so you could get so you were foreshadowing the blood that was going to be there from her body. That's what she thought. She was like, he's yelling, there's so much blood. So that the people think that I attacked him for.
But so it started to scare her, and she started to freak out, and then
Dude, Davvy in his worst times still like got some film tropes and still got some deep creator vibes.
Dude, I'm an actor. I'm an actor.
Exactly.
When it comes down to it, I'm acting. So, and I even told that. Yeah. So we'll get to that. So I'm doing that. Every time she comes near me, I'm screaming bloody murder, and she finally walks away. So I'm holding both of our computers, both of our phones. Because like what I wanted to do was get her phone away from her and her computer away from her so she could calm down and we could talk.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to go hide our computers and both of our phones so neither of us had them.
So you don't make rash decisions.
Right.
With the outside world.
Correct. Which happened anyways. So she walks outside for a second, and so then I go and hide the phones. I stopped the recording, and I even had the thought, I was like, should I delete this? And I was like, no, I'm gonna leave it, because again, like, I wanted to explain to her that, hey, I was making fun of us. What I was doing was I was being ridiculous to be ridiculous, to show you how ridiculous this is. And that was
a
lost
weird
on
way
her.
to approach it.
It was lost on her. But
like,
again,
damn, that's
like,
comedy genius.
but I'm a genius. But no, the thing to me is that like none of that was worth any of that.
You still have the recording? We'll put it
I'm sure
over a
she's,
track,
dude.
bro.
I'm sure she's got it.
So much blood. The dubstep song.
So she walks outside for a second. I go and hide them, and then she comes back in, and I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down on the couch again, and she was like, "I need my phone right now," and I was like, "No." I was like, I hid our phones and our computers. And she was like, "I need it right now." She was like, "Don't be the guy who keeps me from contacting my family." And I was like, fuck. Because she's fucking thousands of miles away from her family.
But this is a temporary thing. You were trying, yeah.
But she was scared. Again, she didn't get that I was...
That she couldn't call for help.
Right.
That's what she thought you'd...
I was being facetious, but she thought I was being serious, and she thought she was going to end up in a body bag. Which was never the reality, never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because again, I love her. Like, I'm not gonna fucking murder her. Like, even if she did like go through with a divorce and divorce me, still nothing like that would have ever crossed my mind.
It just what made you real sad.
Yeah. Yeah. You know me.
Be a sad Dave.
Yeah.
I'd have to deal with sad Dave now.
Dude, and you know I'd be here.
We'd be having a different conversation.
Oh yeah. But anyways, she comes back in and she's like, "Don't be the guy who keeps me from talking to my family." And me being the guy I am, I know how much her family means to her. So I was like, okay, I'll get you your phone.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not that guy.
She said it in the way that was like, oh,
she
fuck,
knew.
I don't want to be.
She knew that I would.
Yeah.
She knew that. So I was like, go to the front room and I'll bring you your phone. I was like, I'll go grab it for you.
You didn't want her to know your hiding spot?
Right.
I was like, a special hiding spot for the phone.
Which was the pantry. So I was like, go to the front room.
And wait, just a side note, did you not want her to see it so she'd be like, "Oh, that's where you put it"?
Yeah.
Like, you fucking crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Or like, what would she think if she saw your hiding spot? Do you think it would just...
Oh, she would have been like, fuck, I could have got that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't want her to think that. I thought you didn't want her to see it to be like, that's a stupid place to
Well, she
hide a
probably would have
phone.
said that too. So she walks away for a second, and when I was like, go to the front room and I'll grab your phone, she's like, "You're not gonna murder me, are you?" I was like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm not gonna murder you. The fuck?" I was like, "Just go to the front room and I'll bring you your phone." I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not the guy who's gonna keep your phone so you can't talk to your family.
Go to the front room. I'll get your phone.
Well, we had
that would be the time to
straight up. My wife and I have guns, but I've never thought about using.
I mean,
her.
she should know that you're not gonna kill her,
right?
But that is some shit. Someone was, yeah. You stay right here.
Yeah,
I'll be right back. Because then you're making it like you don't follow me, because I'm going to get some shit.
No, I was just like, go to the front room, I'll grab your phone. She's like, "You're not gonna murder me, are you?" I was like, "No, I'm not gonna fucking murder you. Just go to the front room, I'll grab your phone." So she walks away for a second. I grab the phone. She walks back in and she grabs the phone and then immediately calls the cops.
Yeah,
immediately calls the cops. And I was like, "The fuck are you doing?" Like, I didn't say that, but I gave her the why. What? Why are you doing that? Like, because one thing that Toby and I know for sure is, what don't you ever do, kids? You never call the cops.
Yeah.
You never call the cops.
There's very few times that you should come in contact.
You don't call the
with them
cops
at all.
unless somebody's bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like rule of thumb. Don't call cops unless somebody's bleeding.
I didn't even want to call... The only time Xana's ever wanted to call the cops was when I'm pretty sure we heard a murder out back here. And even then, I was like,
is this really our
involved.
Business?
Yeah, dude, as weird as that sounds, I was kind of like that. I was like, this is none of our business. We don't know what's going on. I'm not going to run out there and get involved. I'm also not going to have the police come, because if you make the call, they come and talk to you. Yep. And if they smell or see something, we have things in the house. Like,
right.
That was basically my thing of like, I know that's bad, but we can't do anything about that. They'll be here in an hour when that dude's way gone. The murder's already happened. It won't help at all. And then we're going to be in trouble is where my mind went to.
Right.
But even then, I was like, I don't know. Like, I would have had to see the murder
to
call. Like, then, okay, so if I see someone get shot down the front of my house, I'm going to hide the drugs and call the police.
Yeah.
They need to clean that up, or whatever. But, I get what you mean.
So
because the law is that if you call any domestic disturbance, not even violence, one person has to go to jail.
Yep. Somebody's got to go to jail for the 12 hours.
To get you apart, I guess is the real idea.
Yeah. So we did that.
So even if they get there and you're calm, you're like, well, at one point, someone wanted to call the police, so we've got to take somebody.
Yeah. So she called the cops and started talking to them.
She didn't know that.
No.
That someone had to be.
So she even told me later, like, which is something that she told the cops too, and the dispatch, was that she was even saying that I don't want anybody to go to jail. Because she's from Canada, and cops in Canada,
they probably are like that.
No, cops in Canada are different. So she was like, she thought the cops were going to show up and calm us down.
And leave.
Like, she thought the cops were going to show up and kind of be like, all right, guys. Or she thought they were going to, like, send me to your house for the night or something. She didn't want either of us to go to jail. She thought they were going to come and calm us down. She was like, because she thought she could trust the cops. But
as we've learned, you can't.
Yeah. So she's on the phone with them, and I'm giving her the "why the fuck are you doing this" look. And as she's on the phone, I'm like, well, here we go. So I hide all of our paraphernalia. I hide all the weed. I fucking like get the house smelling better. And like she walks outside, and I'm like, well, all right, well, I'm not going to jail without any underwear on. So like I put more comfortable clothes on and a pair of underwear. Cause I know I'm going at this point. Because I know that if she called the cops on a domestic disturbance,
it's gonna be you.
I'm going to jail. Regardless, I knew I was going to jail. Whatever happened, I knew. Because
the cops are always going to believe a little girl that she was scared.
Yeah.
She's small. And you're the big guy. Yep. And so they're always going to assume that you were threatening her.
So what I did is I immediately, like, as soon as I saw, I just went zen. Like, as soon as she was on the phone with the cops, I was like, okay, I'm going to jail.
It happened. It happened,
All right. So I hide all the stuff. I get the house smelling better. I put comfortable clothes on, and get my sandals on, and I made sure that the only thing I had in my pockets was my cell phone. I made sure I didn't have my ID on me. I made sure I didn't have anything that I didn't need, because they're just going to take it. They're just going to take it when I get there.
Yeah.
To jail.
But your ID?
No, I'm not going to. No. Fuck it.
They didn't ask for any ID?
They asked me if I had it, but I told them no.
And they just were like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, what the...
I thought you had to identify yourself, like, when
I did. I mean, I gave them my name and my birthday and all that stuff. Because, like, they have me.
Okay.
Like, I've been arrested before. They have all my shit.
Yeah.
So they don't need my ID. They need my birth date and my name.
It'd be hard to get shit back. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, it's just like I just don't want to deal with
extra
carrying all that shit so early in the morning. Just give me my phone. So I know I'm getting arrested. So she's outside talking to dispatch, and I walk outside to meet them. So I walk out of our backyard and onto the sidewalk. So we're not even at the house because I don't want them coming in my house.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that shit. So I walk out there, and she's like, she looks at me all scared while she's still talking to dispatch, and I was like, hey, and I put my hand on my chest and my hand out, and I'm like, hey, I'm cool, like, it's fine, I'm just standing here waiting. I was like, you stay there.
What was she so afraid of?
She thought I was gonna hurt her. She still thought I was being big, and I was like, hey, you're good. I was like, you stay there. I'm gonna stand right here. I'm just waiting on them. Okay. And so she was like, and I even heard her say, he's calming down now. I don't even know if you guys should come. And then as that is said, I turn, and there's 4 cops come around the corner from the front of the house. Yeah. And I just greet them, because at that point I'm calm. Like, I know I've been to jail before. I know how to, and like Toby knows this about me. I can talk to cops. Cops like me for some reason. or they don't have a problem with me. I'm
You
never
stay calm around them.
well, yeah, and I know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
like it's enough respect, but not too much. I still
Or
treat
you
them
look
like
sketchy.
people. Yeah, I still
Yeah.
treat them like regular people.
Dude, I'm always like, what do you? I act like that.
Fuck you want?
What? Yeah. What do you? Are you what? Nothing. I don't have. Nah, man.
Now I want to search
Yeah,
you.
yeah, exactly. Like, nah, man. What do you look at? Nah.
Looking at my dick? Why are you looking at my dick?
I ain't got nothing in my pockets. Don't even ask. And they're like, no, I have to ask, right?
Like, come on, man. So the cops walk up and they're like, all right, we heard you guys were in an argument. What's going? Okay, so what had happened when she tried to get her phone from me? Okay, so we did put hands on each other. So when she was trying to get her phone, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a lot. So when she's trying to get her phone from me, she's reaching for her phone, but she's like also kind of like hitting me while she's trying to get her phone. So she's like just kind of like punching me a little bit, and like she scratched me once and she bit me. But none of it.
Move.
But again, like she's not gonna hurt me. Like she's punched me before and it's hurt. Like she's rocked my face a couple times.
Yeah.
Like but these didn't like. I can take some body hits.
So she was just like trying to grab it and distract you,
right? So she's trying to get her shit. But like while she was doing that, I'm holding stuff, trying to like get her off me, and I grabbed her hair. I grabbed her hair, and we both went down to the kitchen floor, and that was it. That was the physical moment. Like, and I didn't like jerk her head. I didn't jerk her hair. I grabbed her hair, and we both went down to the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
I didn't slam her on the ground. I didn't body slam her. We just
What'd they say? Did they ask about that?
Yeah, they asked what went on because as soon as Ivy said that we put hands on each other, that upgraded it from a domestic disturbance to domestic assault. Yeah. So as soon as both parties admit,
so again, it was a thing that she was like, she was just being honest.
Yeah,
but she was also probably like, it wasn't a big deal,
right?
But it didn't matter.
It did not matter
once it's physical.
So the cops are there. Three of them are talking to me, and then because you know how cops are, they're like fucking flies. So as soon as a couple get there, the whole fucking precinct is there. So there's probably at this point like 8 cops just hanging out like on my street.
So much
like
that they could be doing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And there's 4 of them talking to me, 4 of them talking to her. I'm giving them because I'm jittery now. Like I'm calm, but like I'm still a little worked nervous. Up, especially like talking to all these cops because I know I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
So I'm being honest, but I'm also like, I'm like, I don't want anything to happen to her. Mm-hmm. I was like, I love my wife. We just had an argument that had been going on. It went on for too long. It got too heated. It got too big. We didn't calm it down. So these cops are talking to me. They're writing down what I'm saying. So I'm like, yeah, all this shit. The fight happened. She kept getting angry, and then I took the phone and I started screaming. Like I told them straight up. I was like, there's a recording on her phone of me screaming my head off.
Yeah.
Well, like because I knew she was recording me. I was just being ridiculous. I was like, so she's probably going to show you guys that, but I was being ridiculous.
That probably incited them to be like, hey, show us that.
No, it's just wait. So they're talking to me, and one of the cop that ended up being my arresting officer. So they patted me down first, of course, and then I tell them the story, and then that cop goes over and talks to Ivy for a second, and then he walks back over to me, and he's like, "Hey man, will you turn around again and put your hands on the fence again?" Just real casual like that, just like. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And I turn around, and then he cuffs me, and like I was like, "Why didn't you fucking just tell me you were gonna cuff me, man?" Like I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit where he's like trying to be my friend and then just gotcha.
When you were being so calm that if he had been like, "Hey, we're gonna have to arrest you."
Yeah, I got to no, because at that point I was just being detained. He was like, if he was just like, "Man, I got to detain you," I was like, I would have been like, for sure.
But
do
what
you got to do,
like trying to trick you.
Yeah.
Hey man, everything's cool. Can you just
look
that way? What's over there?
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And then when he
go, what? Like, you didn't trust me enough.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Is like they might get told to do that so people don't try to run or fight them. Because if you had been like, "Look, we're gonna have to arrest you," and then you snap, and all of a sudden you're swinging punches at cops.
But even then, like before that happened, I was like, I plan to cooperate fully. I was like, I just want this to be dealt with.
I know, and at that point they should have trusted you to just take it.
Yeah,
but yeah. But again, it's probably something like, dude, this dude could start swinging.
Right.
Like, they were just in a fight. We don't know if he's faking this calmness.
Right.
And so I guess they like, we got a trick.
Yeah. So he tricked me. I hated that. Yeah.
I like that one.
Gotcha.
What's that? You're like, oh, shit. You know I was going to fight you and run, right?
Damn. So they do that, and then he walks me over to the squad car, and he sits me in the back of the squad car. So they put me in facing the door that I was, because again, I'm 6'4", so I am much taller than should be put in the back of a cop car.
Oh yeah.
I cannot fit in the back of a cop car. So I'm like all like weird and on the side, and like the
Kinda
cuffs are
leaning.
digging into my fucking arms and shit. And they're talking to me. They've gone to the other door behind me and are talking to me through that. So now not only am I uncomfortable this way, I'm turning behind me like this to talk to them. So they get parts of the story from me again for the affidavit. So I have to like condense the story real quick and tell them the story again for him to write down on the affidavit. So I look over, and she's playing the recording for them.
Oh.
And I can just kind of see them like looking around with their eyes all big, like, what is going on? Like, and a couple of them are like trying to stifle laughter from just the sheer ridiculous. I'm screaming like bloody murder, screaming. And one of them walks over and he's like, man, what was going on while that recording was happening? And I was like, literally, I was walking laps around the house. I was like, I was calm walking around the house and just screaming. And he was like, why? I was like, I was just trying to show her how ridiculous the whole situation was and how childish she was being. And they were like, weird way to do that. And I was like,
because what did they ask her to play the thing after you mentioned it?
Well, yeah, she was telling them about it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were going to ask.
Yeah. And she was like, that scared the shit out of me. And they were probably just like, yeah, I can see how that could scare the shit out of you.
Sounds fucking insane. Did he kill a child? We need to look in your eyes.
Right. No, but like, I was like, literally nothing happened. I was literally just calmly walking around, just screaming every time she came near me. Because I was just trying to show her how childish the situation was.
Did the cop kind of get, was he like?
No, they got it. They understood. Because like,
Makes
again,
sense. There's no signs.
Look at me. Look at her. Because again, like the only thing I had on me.
We used to have a kid.
I had a scratch here on my arm, and it's not. And you can't see it's not there. Like that's all I had, and she had nothing on her. Because again, like I just grabbed her hair.
Yeah.
And so I told them about that. I told them that I had grabbed her hair after she was trying to like get the phone and stuff. And so they wrote all that shit down, and then a female cop gets there. And she's talking to Ivy, and then apparently, from what Ivy told me later, is that she was like, no, don't arrest him, because at that point they were going to have to. It was going to go from me being detained to me being arrested. Hey, fucking cops, you didn't read me my Miranda rights immediately. They didn't read me my rights when they handcuffed me. He read me my rights after I had been sitting in the cop car for 20 minutes.
Well, they could have technically said that was a detainment up until that point.
They still have to do it when they put cuffs on you.
I thought it was before you went into, because they can put cuffs on you and not read you rights.
Really?
I mean, I've been in cuffs a lot of times while they're searching cars and shit.
Oh.
I've been cuffs for an hour while they're searching a car.
Huh. Well, maybe
I'm not
wrong.
arrested yet.
I'm fine with being wrong.
But no, I think they have to do it before they book you, or like the arrest doesn't count.
Yeah.
Or like something.
They would have to let
fight
you
it
go
in court or something. Yeah.
So they he came over and he read me my rights while I was sitting in the back of the cop car. And from what Ivy told me later was that she was like, don't arrest him. I don't want him arrested. Please don't arrest him. And they're like, well, we have to. And she was like, let me go talk to him, which you are not allowed to do after a point. Because they had already decided they have to keep us apart now. If there's a domestic dispute, they have to separate us.
Yeah, okay.
Because we couldn't talk to each other.
You can't even say anything.
Nope.
Why? Because you would give each other code eyes?
Something. They don't want you to do that.
I'm gonna murder you. I don't know.
Why
Why couldn't you talk to them in front of the? Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't y'all talk in front of the police?
Right.
Because they knew nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Then it's safe. It feels like, but I don't know.
But so she says, well, let me just go talk to him, and then she just doesn't wait for their response. She just starts beelining it to the cop car I'm in, and then they walk over, they grab her, and like they cuff her. and like they spin her around, so I only see her back. So like I'm talking to the dude, and then I hear commotion, and I whip around, and like they've got one arm behind her, cuffing it.
We're like,
and then,
don't, dude, just for walking over and like, what would have happened? You were already cuffed,
right?
Was she gonna now? Again, is the law set up like that so she didn't come over and quick stab you?
Well, the cop door, the door was closed, but like, she couldn't have gotten to me.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
what is it there for?
Right, I don't know. I don't know what that would have been. I guess it's
in the case of like, well, we can't let him talk because she's gonna quick shiv him
or something, or give him information. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I don't know what the specificities of that are.
You did this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it's for, to keep the stories separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she starts to beeline. I turn over. They've got one arm cuffed, but like she has thrown her other arm up in the air to keep them from getting it. And like, so they had to like grab her arm and throw it behind her back. And I was like, yo, what are you doing? What's going on? And the one cop came over. He's like, it's fine. She just doesn't listen.
That guy's pretty funny. It's fine. She just doesn't listen. Like,
and like that, and I even told her after that, I was like, I wish I could have seen your face. I wish I could have seen your face, because again, like in her mind, she's so innocent about some things. She like, cause being from Canadians are different animals, man. Straight up, because again, in her mind, she thought they were gonna come and calmly. They were going to get us to calm down. They were going to calmly talk to us and then let us go about our night. What was her thing
about the hand?
She didn't want to be arrested. She's never been arrested before. She
like, they're like, no,
yeah, that was
ain't gonna happen.
Right. So
you're like, come on.
They cuffed her and then threw her in the back of the cop car.
And as long as my hand's up, you can't put them together.
Right.
That doesn't work.
Right.
I like the fight though. Yeah. I like the throwing the hand up as far as the mentality of like, nope, not yet.
So then
that's funny. She put up a fight. That's honorable.
Yeah, for sure. Dumb. It's dumb, but honorable.
It's in good spirit.
Because, you know, like I know you let cops do what they're going to do.
Or it's going to get worse. That's resisting. Oh, see, I never thought about that. Throwing your hand up is technically resisting arrest.
Yes, it is.
And if you put your hand up and move a shoulder, that's assault on a fucking police officer, dude. Resisting arrest and assault on a cop, you're in jail for years.
Yeah.
Dude, if she had just whipped the wrong way and hit a cop in the chest with her shoulder, dude. I didn't think about that because they didn't charge her with resisting, right?
Right.
That's good.
Well, we didn't get
because I think they understood that she was like, wait, what's happened? Like freaked out. She wasn't.
Because again, her whole thing was that she didn't want to. She had even told them that I don't want him to go to jail. Like we're okay. Like we touched each other, but we're
fine.
Yeah, we're not hurt.
Yeah,
neither of us felt assaulted. Like,
but that's funny because that like a dick cop totally would have been like written that down as resisting.
And there had to have been 15 to 20 cops. Like, for real. Like, I'm not exaggerating.
Must have known. Because if you had thrown your arm up, dude, they would have tackled you.
They would have beat the shit out of me.
No fucking question. Yeah. They would have tackled you and put an arm in the back of the head. Like, oh, you think you're going to fucking resist?
Yeah.
Like, but with her, I think they were like,
but even then, that's one of those things where it's like, read the room. Like, we were both being very cooperative and very calm at that point. It
wasn't necessary.
Yeah, it was not necessary. She just didn't know the deal.
Yeah, like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah. That was her thing. Is like, how the fuck did it go this far?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, honestly, they would have treated you so different if you had thrown your arm up, bro. Yep. So different.
But see, again, I know how to deal with cops. I know what not to do.
Give it.
Yep. It was like, there we go.
Yeah.
So,
oh man.
So she gets put in the back of the cop car, and I was like, well,
wait,
fuck.
Why did they actually get her get arrested for going and trying to talk to you?
So what? No. So what? She got arrested for. So my arresting officer came back to me and he's like, okay, well, you're both going to jail. I was like, whoa, what? I was like, why? Why is she going to jail? I was like, I get why I'm going. I was like, I'm the guy. I get why I'm going. I get that I have to go.
Yeah.
I was like, so why is she going? He's like, well, honestly, we can't tell who started it. You both have to go now. I was like, is there any way that I can claim it now? And he's like, not at this point. He's like, because you guys told us the truth. He's like, you kind of fucked yourself by telling us the truth. Now you both have to go to jail.
So they heard her story and your story, and it was just, they couldn't decide who was being crazy first.
Yeah, they were just like,
or something.
These dumb fucks should not have called us. you know? Because, so So I even tried to get them to let her go. I was like, please. I was like, I don't want her to go to jail. Because again, like, I didn't know how she was going to handle it. Not well, regardless. Because she is a sensitive being. She's never been in county jail before. It's fucking gross and awful.
Would they put you in like a holding cell?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
So they've got me in the back of the cop car. They say that we've both got to go to jail. And I was like, yo, bro. I was like, we've got 5 animals in the house. We got to do something. And he's like, what? You have 5 animals? I was like, yeah, we got 3 cats, 2 dogs. And he's like, well, fuck, man. I was like, yeah, he's like, can you have anybody come watch them? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, we can have McCamey come. I was like,
and do what?
Take my animals. Come and take my animals.
Really? They were saying?
Yeah. Now, McCamey says that they'll come and take your animals just until you get out. But then again, like, they can refuse to give them back because you were in jail. They can say that you're an unfit pet owner because you went to jail. I was like, no, fuck that.
Okay, so they say that weird.
Yeah.
They don't want any more animals.
I know. But anyways.
Like, we used to know a person that worked there, and they're supposed to be a no-kill shelter. He's like,
all the time.
Dogs die every day. Like, they claim to be a no-kill. Yeah. So I don't think they would have, but yeah, I see what you mean. Like, fuck that.
Yeah,
like, you're not gonna give them up to a shelter. Those are our pets.
I was like, I'll get somebody here.
Yeah,
and I was like, do you have any weapons in the house? I was like, yeah. I was like, we've got 3 pistols, 2 rifles. And he's like, I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, he's like, hey man, I'm a level with you. He's like, I believe in people having guns. I believe in people protecting themselves. But you guys, and he was breaking it down for me what was about to happen. He's like, I've got to take both of you. You guys are both going to jail. You're gonna have to find somewhere to stay. He's like, you're going to have to be somewhere else until the court date. He's like, you can't be together. You're not going to be able to talk to each other. You're not going to be able to see each other. He's like, and you cannot be around weapons. So do you have somebody who can come get the guns? And I was like, of course, Toby, my dog. He's going to come. He's going to get the guns. Guns are going to be cool. I was like,
that's weird that he like stepped back. Was it just the 5 and he expected 1?
We're hippies.
Or something? Oh, he's like, oh, you don't have any guns, do you? And you're like, 5. He's like,
what? And he's like, do you guys no? He's like, you guys avid shooters? And I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, we have a membership at the range.
Oh, so he was kind of judging you about the dreads or something.
Well, of course.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You guys avid? Yeah, dude, we shoot.
Yes. Yeah, man, I'm trained with a weapon.
No, we're murderers.
Yeah. So we I'm in the back of the cop car. He's breaking down what's going to happen. I have to stay somewhere else. Can't talk for however long until the court date. Shit. Oh, fuck. Where was I at? Can't talk to the court date. Got to have somebody come get the guns. And I was like, okay, is it cool? Like if I go and lock up the house, like, you know what I mean? Cause like you're about to take us both to jail. So like my house is full of shit. You know what I mean? You know, and people are seeing us being taken away in cop cars. Yeah. So can I go lock my house? And he's like, yeah, I can take you in there so you can like check on the animals real quick and lock up the house. But I was escorted in by 3 cops, not just 1. I did not want any cops in my house, but 3 came in right after me. And one of them was about to start walking around my house. I was like, no, sir. I was like, we're good. We can go. Like, because they don't have any right to start looking through my house.
Yeah.
Like, even with escorting me in to get something.
There is a weird law about, it's like a vampire, though. Like,
but they weren't invited. They were not invited.
Oh.
They said they had to walk me in to lock the door.
That is a legal difference.
Yeah.
If you invite them in, that is giving them permission.
Right. I did not give them permission. They said they had to. So, but
I'm glad you caught that.
But only one of them said, he was like, I will walk you in. But 2 other cops walked in behind him. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all. But I was just like, yeah, those are the weapons over there. I was like, you can see 2 rifles, 3 guns. I was like, they're just all right there. Because we keep them by the bed.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay. I was like, dogs are cool and everything. And when we were walking in, he was like, it's like, these dogs okay? I was like, if you're cool.
Yeah.
It just feels good to like almost have a power move on a cop.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was like, because you see Owsley and Darwin, like Darwin's part pit and Owsley's fucking huge. And like you see them like looking up at you like through the door.
Like,
and he's like,
know something's wrong.
They're like, they cool? He's like, as long as you're cool.
And he goes in like, oh,
yeah. So lock up the house. And
man, I'm surprised they even like because again, a dick cop, if you go, hey, don't go snoop around the house, that could be considered probable cause by not, since they were already in.
Well, no, I was like, hey man, we're good to go. I was like, because they didn't get called for anything else. Yeah. They got called for a domestic dispute.
Yeah.
They didn't get called to look at my house.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said something because, again, I think they could have easily been like, well, the fact that you're telling me to not look around your house is cause to look around your house.
Yeah, but even then, like that's
that would
have
been a horrible move.
That's an invasion of privacy. Like, I didn't even ask you to come in. One cop said they had to come in. But anyways, so they take me back outside. They get me in the cop car.
They were just curious too, and like, I bet there's some weed
in here. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it still probably smelled like weed.
That was probably the thing. Is like, is it right here?
Yeah.
Is it like real close? Like, can I see it if I just peek around here? Because I love to find weed.
But again, this was in the moment. Like, so guys, another thing, I haven't been getting high. Like, I've been smoking a ton. Like, since I got that from you.
What was up with that? I was wondering about that.
Toby, I'm still not high.
You still haven't been getting high?
I'm just slightly buzzed off of this beer.
What was there a day that it happened? That something happened?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I hit that DMT, but that DMT shouldn't be able to like cut off my cannabinoid receptors.
That was the only thing around the time.
That's the only different thing that I can think of, other than like maybe my tolerance is too high.
But no, it shouldn't cut off like that.
Like, I can't get like I can like at night I can get a little high, but like, dude,
I hit the bong.
I've hit like you don't even know.
Okay,
so like I got that from you. And I was like, yo, I don't know if this is working. You remember that?
Yeah.
When I was like, I don't know if this is working. I went and got another one. From someone else.
See, that's why it was
fucking
weird.
problem.
That's why it was weird to me because, like, I was looking at the notes just then. I was like, dude, these are covered in trichomes.
You were like, I'm getting high as fuck, man.
Dude, I literally couldn't talk to my parents.
Yeah, I know. And I told Ivy that. I was like, Toby said he couldn't fucking talk to his parents. And I believe him.
I was getting fucking, like, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I had to talk to my mom, and that was just weird because it's one of it's like on the better side of stuff I've been getting for a while. And when I heard that, I felt terrible, because as a friend to help you get something.
I wasn't trying to blame you or anything because what I was trying to do was run down leads to see if I'm fucked up, to see if there's something wrong with me because that's what I ended up telling you too. I was like, I'm probably just fucked up because like I believe
that's so weird.
But neither of us were getting high. Ivy's not getting high either.
And she was like 2 weeks ago.
Right. We both were.
So y'all are both, I don't understand.
But like we hit that DMT, but we didn't even blast off. You know what I mean? Like we just did. I just wanted to taste her.
Yeah. That was nice though, right?
Oh, it's so pretty. It was so pretty. We sat in the backyard in some loungers.
I have a deep love for you because of this, because it's just like, it's no one else's thing. And like, dude, our friend actually was the one who's like, he's like, dude, because he keeps hitting me up. You want the rest of that? Because he's just like, no one else I know will even touch this shit. Right. He's like, it's gonna sit there. It's like everyone's afraid of this. And I'm like, that's my best friend,
as they should be.
But no, I don't. But it helps me, dude. It puts you through all of your anxiety, and then it releases it all.
Well, yeah, it's that.
Right? So like you come out of it really strong and peaceful.
It compartmentalizes everything.
But it puts you through the shit. Yeah. It's like just like an LSD trip. You'll be in the, when you're peaking, you're going to be in some bad ways in your mind sometimes, just dealing with heavy shit and everything's on you. And DMT just compresses that all into a few minutes. And it just like, I don't know. But I think it's with how crazy and anxious I am.
Yeah.
That shit actually helps me because it's like, oh, you think you're stressed?
Yeah.
You're fucking stressed. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm cool.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's literally when you're being a dick in a bar and someone punches you and you're like, I shouldn't be a dick.
Right.
Like, this is what happens when you're a dick. Because I get so crazy and anxious. I get suicidal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I get crazy. I want to kill myself. I hate everything. I feel like my life is shit. And then doing that shit every once in a while is very therapeutic because it'll be like, oh, you think you're stressed. Like, this is what it actually feels like to be stressed. And then I feel like my problems are nothing when I come out of it. So it's like you're acting up. And then you got to give yourself a little knock, a little knock around, a little slap around. And then you're like, you know what? I think I was out of line by being bitchy.
Yeah.
Because my life's pretty great. Like, when it comes down to it, I have no reason to bitch. And, that's what it reminds me. It reminds me that my life is good. In a way, it's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
So you think maybe hitting that kind of threw your equilibrium off or something? Or
I don't know.
Maybe it just showed you what being high was like, and now nothing touches
Maybe.
it. That is strange. I mean, I do notice. I mean, I will notice like right after a trip that weed doesn't do much for me because I'm like, oh, this is nothing like that.
Right.
And it feels like a bitch thing. I'm like, this ain't doing shit. I feel like that the couple. Oh my God, look at that one.
No, hold on.
There's some skeletons on.
Yeah.
Hey, don't put our location up though.
They know already.
No, not exactly. Hide the thing. No, scroll past the mugshots from. It's gonna say it anywhere we go. Oh yeah, zoom in maybe.
So these are all my mug shots.
That's my boy
we'll
right
bring
there.
you guys over to that.
Dude, look at 2013.
These are all my mug shots from being arrested.
You know what, bro? I don't think I've ever noticed that you were handsome.
Oh, what?
I don't mean to be a dick. I mean, I've always known you're handsome. But when you were a kid,
Yeah.
you were like a stud kid.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You got the puff, but you got the job with the puffy cheeks.
Yeah.
That's some that's some high school hot shit.
Well, you can tell
right?
that, like, you can tell over here.
See, now you look more distinguished. When
Yeah.
you were a kid, you were fuckable. I don't know what that means.
So, yeah. So these are all my mug shots. This is the one that happened last week. So 7/26/2020.
Okay.
I look all sad. That's my mug shot. So this
you
is
look sad in all those.
Well, yeah,
except this
'cause
one, you look proud. You're like
that one.
I'm
the
a
first one.
badass.
Well, that one.
That was 2013. Both of those.
All three of them, Toby.
Oh,
All three of they're all within months of each
same
other.
here.
Yeah.
And you were just you hadn't grown your bottom of your goatee in this one. You just had a stash in that first one, right?
No, the bottom of the gut. I just have shitty facial hair,
Just had a
man.
well, this one looks really long.
Look at
That's
how
later in the
shitty
year.
that stash is. Look at how shitty
It
my
looks in that
stashes
one.
are.
In the
Well,
12,
see, I've got a little
12,
bit
you
of
had
it.
just shaved or something. Right?
Maybe a little bit earlier. And you can tell I'd put some weight on.
But that's where I was saying you looked really handsome. That's the Chad at a frat
I can see that.
look.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys my mug shot. So
Yeah, that's
we get
pretty funny.
we get to
What happened in 2013, bro?
so these are all
What was going on?
So driving on suspended license, driving on suspended license, driving on revoked license. I had to go to work, man.
You left you left it in there at the bottom.
Whatever.
It's yeah. These are old shits anyway.
Yeah. Except for the other one.
There's
There we
there's
go.
no around
It
it.
doesn't fucking matter. Nobody's gonna watch this far into it, anyways. And if people that watch this
Are
get
gonna
this
rat us
far,
out.
yeah, dude, they love us. We love you guys too. But yeah, so that's probably at like 2:00 in the morning. This
really?
most recent one, probably about 2:00 in the morning.
Man, you kept driving on that license, bro. What was that?
Dude, but look at how pale I was.
You got more pale throughout the year.
Yeah, but look at how I'm toned.
I
Look
mean,
at my skin tone, bro.
toned up.
Yeah.
No,
So
but I just can't believe you kept driving with the license for so long.
I had to get to work. I had to go to work.
The system.
Yeah, how am I supposed to get to work? Got to drive to work. So, they take us to jail. I'm sure that Ivy's freaking out at that point. And so we get to the jailhouse. They get Ivy in first. So they take us to the jail at the same. We arrive at the jail at the same time. So I have to spend another 15 minutes in the back of the hot ass cop car while they're booking her in, like taking all of her shit. And then they get me in there to reception, basically to the reception area, where you
sign in.
Yeah, where you sign in. You
Sign into the
spa.
gala.
Yeah. You sign in.
Get your name tag.
Yeah, they take your shoes, they take all your shit, they put it in a bag, they put your name on it, they take whatever money you have and give you a coupon for your money. That's again why I didn't want to take my wallet, because I don't want them looking through my shit. Because what they did, like Ivy had her wallet, and what was the first thing they did? They dumped all the shit out of her wallet, pulled all of her cards out, checked her fucking wallet
For drugs or just info.
Yeah, just info.
I'm
but
addicted to
she didn't grab her. She didn't grab her American ID, so they got her in under her maiden name, which is Cross.
Ooh,
So
that might have fucked up something, right? Because they're like, "Are you a citizen?"
Well, it kind of almost fucked some shit up. So when we were sitting in there, I was like, can I make a phone call? Because there are phones over there that are like, you can use this phone by request only. Yeah. So they're not going to tell you can have a phone call. You have to ask for your phone call. Oh, okay. But they have to give it to you. So I was like, hey, man, whenever you're cool, I'd like to make my phone call. And he was like, okay, who are you going to call? I was like, my mom. I'd like to call mommy, please.
Dude, that's the first call. You're like, I fucked up.
Yeah, no. Well, no, because I had a plan. Because like I was going to handle shit. I was like, so this is how I fix my marriage. I was like, me handling this shit will show her that I care.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to handle everything so she doesn't have to worry about shit.
That's really sweet.
So like, because again, like she can't call, like they're not going to let her call Canada from a jail in America. Yeah. They're not going to be like, yeah, sure, rack up.
And can you look in your phone for numbers?
They'll let you do that.
Because I was going to say, no one remembers numbers now. So
I've got it.
You'd be fucked, right?
Yeah, well, they'll let you get a number. They'll let you get numbers out of it. But
because that'd be the only number
who's she gonna call? She's gonna call my grandma or my mom.
Yeah,
I might as well handle it. So I call my mom because I know my mom will call my grandma because I had to get my grandma over to the house to watch the animals.
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna let McCamey come and take the fucking dogs. Yeah. So, I call my mom and she answers again. It's like fucking probably around midnight, 1, something like that. And I call. I'm like, hey. And because again, she knows that I'm calling from jail. Because it's like, you are receiving a phone call from David Glab. I'm in jail. Come on, help me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny.
So she answers and she's like tired. She's like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, so I'm in jail. She's like, yeah, I know. I was like, Ivy is too. And she's like, what? I was like, we both got arrested. I was like, we got into an argument. She called the cops. We both got arrested. I was like, they couldn't tell who started it, so they took both of us. And she was like, okay, what do you need me to do? I was like, first of all, I need you to call grandma, get her over to the house immediately. I was like, immediately. They said that they would call McCamey and take the dogs if I didn't get somebody there. I was like, so get her over there immediately. And she's like, okay, can do. What else? And I was like, call a bondsman and get them out. And as I was telling her, I was like, you're probably going to have to get 2 different people to do it because they're not going to release us to the same person. I was like, so because again, we can't be around each other. So
they don't even I thought they set up your bondsman and shit. Like,
no, you have to call a bondsman.
Because I got arrested a lot when I was underage. I haven't had much since I've been of age. And
yeah, I mean, maybe they're nicer. It's up to you.
Like, because they were always like, set you up. They'd have one there or someone to talk to.
No, I don't work like that as an adult, bro.
So it's like your one phone call better take care of your bondsman, basically.
Well, even then, no, you'll have a chance to
reach out.
Well, yeah, because in the bigger cells, they have this shitty phone in a wall that you have to put your face on. Like it's like just a flat thing on a wall with numbers and 2 speakers.
Oh, so you can't hang yourself or something?
Yeah, there's nothing. You have to put your ear up to the wall and and shit. And I'm not doing that. So I make the call. I'm calling my mom and I'm like, yo, get grandma to the house. I need you to get a bail bondsman. And I'm like, you're gonna have to get 2 people. I was like, you and grandma are probably gonna have to do each one. And I was like, we have the money. It's not going to be that much. Just I'll pay you back as soon as we get out. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. I got you. I was like, are you guys okay? And I was like, yeah, we're fine. I was like,
to separate you to 2 different people, to not release you together.
Yeah, because we cannot. It's a no contact order. So I get off the phone with her. She's going to handle everything. And so they get me in there and they put me in the horseshoe. So county jail here is fucking terrible. They have this thing called the Rock. It's on the first level. It's those holding cells, the intermediate holding cells.
Yeah.
And it's just this big concrete room, and there's several concrete cells that are off of it. There's 2 or 3 big ones that they just pack people in like sardines.
Yeah.
They will make it to where there's only standing room. They'll put 45 people in a room that's only supposed to have 10.
For what? For how long? Is that just during booking, keep you there for days, 24
man.
Hours?
They'll keep you there for days. They will keep you there for days because what they want you to do, they want you to see how bad it is. They want to put you in fucking squat. They don't even clean those cells. So there's dried shit on the walls and on the ceiling and it's fucking disgusting. And hey guys, there's a fucking global pandemic going on with fucking a disease. You know what I mean? And they're keeping people fucking packed together. Of course,
I never thought about that.
First, they take your temperature and ask you if you've been sick when you're coming in, but then they're just like, get in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't even give you masks. They don't So I get in there.
That packed, they should have masks.
And they put me in the horseshoe at first because they hadn't got me booked in all the way. They put me in the Horseshoe, and the Horseshoe is like the Ritz-Carlton of the Rock. So I call it the Rock because they call it the Rock because it's just concrete. It's just all concrete. It's concrete floors, concrete benches, just concrete. So, and the Horseshoe is just this little area outside all of the cells with just like some benches, and that's where the TV is. And that's where they put the medical people. So if you've got a medical emergency, they keep you out in the Horseshoe to keep an eye on you and keep you away from people. So I'm chilling there. I'm watching TV.
You've been like, I'm sick as fuck.
Well, no.
Separate me from these.
And there's only one female cell there. And it's a big metal door with a shield over the window. So the girls in there cannot see out. So Ivy is in a cell that she can't see out of. And I'm sure she is just fucking terrified. It's fucking disgusting in there.
It's not bars. It's just a room.
It is a room. It's just a concrete room with a metal door that they can't see out of. And they didn't give her shoes. So she's in there fucking barefoot.
She didn't have shoes when she got arrested?
They take your shoes, bruh.
They take her shoes and then didn't give...
They didn't give her the little sandals.
Oh.
They have these little, like,
I wonder why.
molded sandals. Because she probably didn't go by the bin. Because the first thing you do is you walk around the other side to get your shoes. Because I know that. I've been to jail. Like, you walk in, you grab your shoes and your blanket, and then you go and chill. But she didn't walk around the way with the shoes, so she's barefoot in a fucking disgusting jail.
Yeah.
And I'm out there kind of just chilling, watching TV for a minute, for like an hour. I'm watching FXX with like some dudes out there. This one black dude who had been shot a couple times. He's just chill. You know, he was cool. He's like, they got me out here because I'm just chill. I got shot a couple times, you know. He's like, I'm cool. I could be in there, but I just don't want to. You know, he's like, he's milking it. So, and he's like laying on a fucking nice ass mat with 3 blankets and just like, he's posted up. So I was like, that's what's up. And
got shot a few times just chilling. That's crazy.
Well, like, yeah, he was like, I'm fine.
Ow.
I was like, who shot you? He's like, just some bitch ass motherfuckers. I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah. So I'm chilling there for a minute, and they finish getting my stuff together, and I go and I do the rest of like my biometrics and stuff, where they like take my fingerprints and my picture, that picture.
Yeah.
And I'm chilling, and they're like, "Hey man, we gotta put you in a cell for a minute because your wife's about to come out, and we can't have you even like looking at her."
Oh, so she's gonna walk past.
Well, so the Horseshoe, I'm in the middle of everything. So the Horseshoe is dead center of all the cells. So it's in like the open area, and then the cells kind of line it. Okay. So I'm in the Horseshoe. She's in this cell. So if she were to come out, she'd see me because we'd only be like 10 feet apart from each other. So they're like, we got to put you in a cell. And
what would you have given her with you? Would you have been like,
well, no,
like, it was crazy.
When I was leaving, I was yelling at her, just hoping that she'd hear me.
Yeah.
Like, so they, and I got to go talk to the magistrate, and the magistrate, I was like, she was like, well, who's going to take the house? I was like, she can take the house. I'll go stay somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, can you let her know that my grandmother will pick her up? And she's like, I'm not supposed to do that because that's technically you talking to her. I was like, can you leave a fucking note? Can you leave a note that my grandma will come pick her up if she wants the ride? Because I didn't want her to have to like worry about anything.
She was supposed to make her own arrangements,
right. And her family. I was like, lady, her family is in Canada. I was like, I am her family. My family is her family. That's all she's got. Like, I was like, so please tell her that my grandma will be here to pick her up. And she's like, okay, I'll write a Post-it note. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And she was like, okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to let, I was like, she was like, since you're giving her the house, I'm going to let you out at 6 a.m. and I'm going to hold her until noon. And I was like, ugh, I didn't know that was going to happen when I let her have the house. She's going to be mad. She's going to be mad that I got out. Yeah, fuck yeah. And guess what? She was mad that I got out early. She was like, they let you out at 6? Like, kept me until 1 o'clock. And I was like, well, I didn't get out until 8. Like,
yeah, we're like, hey, but I gave you the house.
Yeah.
She was like, you know, we're both going to stay here.
Yeah. Well, no, she didn't know that. She thought that people were going to be watching us.
Oh, okay. So, but what, she didn't see your gesture of giving the house? That's I mean, at that point, shit's crazy.
When she got to see the magistrate, she did see that. And she saw that I gave her the house and that I was going to have grandma come pick her up. But, so I'm chilling. They're like, we got to put you in a cell. And so they open up one of them. And there's like, it's nuts to butts. Yeah. Nuts to butts in this thing. And they're like, well, get in there. And I was like, no. I was like, respectfully, no, I'm not doing that. And they're like, why? I was like, anxiety. It was like, I'm anxious. Like, there's a global pandemic going on and you got a bunch of people in here nuts to butts. I'm not going in there. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't want to make your job harder, but I'm not going in there. And they're like, okay, man. And then,
like, it was that easy?
And then they opened up another one. And I was like, no, man. I was like, there's too many people. There's too many people too close together for me. I was like, I'm not going in there. I'm sorry. And then he was like, fuck. Okay, we'll go sit back in the horseshoe and we'll get you in a second. And then so I sat back down in the horseshoe, was watching TV again. And then they were like, all right, your wife's coming out. We do have to put you in like a cell. So he was like, but what I can do is I can put you in one of the crazy people cells. So like for people that are like trying to commit suicide and stuff, they put you in a turtle suit and put you in this little cell by yourself. And I was like, cool, that's fine. I was like, and he was like, I'll come let you out in a little bit. And I was like, you gonna come?
They put you in a suit?
No, they didn't put me in a suit. They just put me in the little.
Like, I have to.
I have to strip you butt naked and put you in this turtle suit. But the dude, he was a younger guy. He was probably like maybe 23, something like that. And he was like, I'll come let you out in a little bit. I was like, are you really gonna come let me out? And I was like, you just gonna forget about me? Don't forget about me. Please come let me out. I was like, I don't do well with small spaces. Like, and he was like, nah, dude, I'll come let you out. And guess what happened? He never came and let me out. I never saw that motherfucker again. He got me. They got me.
You reminded him. He was like,
"No, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that." So, so I'm in there and like I'm just trying to like calm my mind because the whole time like she was in the middle of divorcing me the last time I talked to her.
Yeah,
you know. So I'm just trying to calm my mind down and try to sleep because that's how you time travel in prison. You sleep.
Yeah.
Like that's how you time travel. That's how you get past shit is you sleep. And so like I would just be listening to the TV. The TV was still on out there and you could kind of hear it. So every time that you would hear the opening of a show and then the ending of a show, I know it was like, all right, 30 minutes. 30 minutes is down. And then I could kind of ballpark what time it was because I knew I was getting out around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I was able to be like, all right, now it's about 4 o'clock. And then when they bring chow at 5, I was like, okay, they brought me this slop, and I didn't fucking eat anything. I didn't eat or drink anything that whole time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not drinking that fucking water, and I'm not eating that shit. There's no way. Not that I'm a prude. Not that I'm a prude, but that shit is poison.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's not food.
That's fucking horrible.
So I'm in that room by myself, and there's literal shit on the walls. Like, someone had written a phone number on the window in shit. Like with their finger, like a phone number. I was like, why are they trying to do? Why would you? This is my number.
Hit me up.
Hit me up.
Any crazies out there? You like shit play?
Yeah, they call me shit fanga.
I'm just trying to remember a number.
Yeah, I don't know, but so I'm in there until they come and let me out.
That makes.
And what the fucked up thing was I got woken up to a wake up, motherfucker. That's how an officer woke me up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in there because my wife and I both got arrested for touching each other during an argument. And this guy's like, okay, so first off, they treat you like every other criminal when you're in there. No matter what you're in there for, they're treating you like you are the scum of the fucking earth.
Yeah.
Like, every guard in there treats you like a piece of shit. Like, no matter what you did, you get, like, again, like those 3 times, I was in there for driving on a suspended license.
Trying to get to work.
Barely a criminal activity.
Yeah.
But they still, like, they throw you in there with rapists and murderers and everybody. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck. Which is really shitty. And so I'm in there. I get woken up to a wake the fuck up, motherfucker. And I'm like, yep, yes, sir. I get up and I grab my shit and then I go sit in the horseshoe again. And then they get me on my stuff and they let me out. And as we're being let out, because, you know, you have to go through like 3 different checkpoints before they let you out. So you go to one checkpoint, you get your shoes. And then you go to the next checkpoint, and then they give you your phone, and then you get to another checkpoint, and then you get to walk outside. But when I get to, they let 3 people out at the same time. So they let me, this one black dude out, and then a woman out. And it's this larger kind of Hispanic pregnant woman. And then, so she's sitting, and I was like, hey, the little dready girl in there, I was like, is she okay? I was like, is she all right? And she's like, she's really, like, are you her husband? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, she's really worried that you're going to leave her over this. I was like, oh, thank God.
That she's not thinking about leaving.
Yeah, I was like,
you're like, I'm not going to leave her.
Yeah, I was like, oh, thank God.
So we're good. Oh, so that's weird because that's probably in the woman's cell. They're like to probably talk a lot more.
Yeah,
and get to know each other.
Well, apparently, that girl was the one that Ivy had been talking to all night. That was like Ivy's jail friend.
Yeah.
So that was like the perfect person to be let out with because she calmed me down. So because I already had a plan of like I was gonna go home because like I was gonna take care of shit that she wasn't gonna have to take care of throughout the week.
Yeah.
You know. So I was like,
leave her a note. That point.
But see, we're not supposed to do that either. But yes, I was going to leave a note or I was going to leave like a Word document on the computer. So when she opened it, I was going to be like, yo, this is what's going down or whatever. Like, I love you. We're okay. Yeah. Like all this shit. But when I was talking to her, she was like, yeah, she was just terrified. She didn't know what was going on. So she's just worried that you were going to leave her and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, so my plan was to go home and like mow the lawns and like get the animals taken care of, get the house clean. So when she came home, it would be relaxing. Like I even got shit ready for her to take a shower, like laid clothes out for her, a towel out for her, bought her fucking roses,
to
like
show
made the bed.
Doing something.
Yeah, just to like relax. Like you're okay, everything's okay. Just be easy. That's what I wanted her to come home to. So bong pause. Did you like that when I did
pause?
Did you like that when I did the bong and the pause?
Dude, your dreads are still pretty long in 2013, bro.
I had them up in the bun. They're probably like almost mid back, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they down to my knees.
No, but what happened?
So I asked I was like, so what's is it really serious about the no contact order? And she's like, psh. No, she's like, I'm in here for abusing my husband, which didn't happen. I'm gonna go right back home to that motherfucker. I was like, oh, what? And she's like, as long as you guys don't point fingers at each other in court, you're fine. She's like, go home. I was like, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not spending 5 days away. Yeah, it's like you look like you've been in jail, pregnant woman.
Yeah, she's pregnant in jail.
Yeah, she was in jail for abusing her husband. She's 5 months pregnant.
And they took her.
They took her and let her stay in jail overnight.
Yeah.
They actually kept her longer, like, than they were supposed to, because a woman got snatched being let out at 2 a.m. Yeah, a woman disappeared. They let a woman out at 2 a.m. and she disappeared. So they were like, we can't let that happen again, especially
someone was waiting outside of the jail?
Or she started walking and someone snatched her.
It was too late.
Because when they let you out, they don't give a fuck. They do not give a fuck. You are money to them.
If you don't have someone picking you up or a car there, it's like, you're walking for miles and miles.
Yeah, or wherever.
2 or 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's just it's middle of downtown though, so it's not like you can't get somewhere, but like we don't know where that person was going. So they let me out and my grandma picks me up, so I go home and like I do all the shit. I mow the lawns, I take care of the dogs, take care of the animals, and I get everything together just like, and I relax for a minute. Like I take like the longest shower to get fucking jail off me. And I sit down, I smoke some weed. I went and bought a pack of cigarettes like immediately. I went and got her roses and me a pack of cigarettes. So like I chain smoked like 3 cigarettes outside just to be like, motherfucker. Yeah. And so she gets let out. So I decide that I'm going to go and pick her up. So, because again, it's not like, because if you think logically about it, they didn't ask us who was driving which car. They didn't write down who was going to have what car. They didn't write down anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was one of those things where they're just like, you guys better not see each other until the court date.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am surprised that they don't check in.
Well, if they wanted, so there is if they really gave
violent,
if it was really violent and they really gave a fuck, what they would have done is put a bracelet on me. They would have put a monitor on me.
Oh, and seen where you were. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they would have put a tracker on me.
If like she had some wounds, if she was all beat up or something, they probably would have put something on you.
But since it was
GPS,
both of us, since we both got arrested, and it was one of those things where because they didn't even set because some of those people who have those domestic assault cases, like they'll put those no contact orders in for a month. Like they'll give you your court date a month out to make sure you guys have that calm down. They give us 5 days. You know what I mean? So they knew it wasn't that serious.
Yeah.
They're like, these fucking white people, just Jesus Christ, figure your shit out. Don't go back to jail. This is for black people and Hispanics.
Oh my God. That's what we're trying to change right now.
That is what we're trying to change.
That is literally.
That is why my wife and I went to jail.
for equality. Fuck that. No, dude, they've already. Have you seen them trying it in different states to where they're putting? I think New York, parts of Florida, Chicago was one of them. To where they have certain sections to where cops aren't allowed to respond to nonviolent crimes anymore.
Yeah, well, we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, right? Where they're trying to actually put in effect like some social workers.
Yeah, I haven't heard any bad things yet from it.
Yeah,
I don't know about. There's gonna be those 1 or 2 times to where like they go to a nonviolent offense and it gets violent and they're not armed,
right?
Because like these are healthcare professionals. You know, these are like social workers. They know about they're well versed in mental illness and stuff like that.
Right.
So if like a homeless person is being crazy outside and talking to God or whatever, like they won't call someone with a gun.
Right.
They'll call someone that knows how to handle someone with
with fucking experience.
Yeah. Or that someone because cops dealing with someone with schizophrenia can really trigger them, and they could get violent when it was never necessary because they get so scared.
Right.
And their mind's deteriorating. In situations like that, someone could go talk them down that was used to people like that and, and actually help. I haven't heard any bad things to where it's gone wrong yet.
Yeah.
But I have heard them implementing a lot, and it's so far, the idea is great. I just think there needs to be like, okay, what if a social worker comes and there's a cop in the car across the street? He's not the one you talk to.
Right.
They're there, and they have a little button, like a life alert button.
Yeah.
And so, like, if they think, oh, shit, this person's crazy, this person's violent, or if they see something violent, they can quickly snap out of their car, tackle them, shoot them, whatever. That's her only one. Dude, she was scared as shit.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd like me showing you guys this, but this is that's my wife. That's my wife's mugshot.
She looks like she's about to go crazy.
Yeah. Nobody looks good in a mugshot though.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I mean, it's a scary time.
Yeah. So I go to pick her up. Okay? Cuz again, so I'm a block down from the jail. But like I can see in my rearview mirror the entrance to the jail or where she'll walk out.
Yeah.
So I can see that in my rearview mirror. So I'm just like chilling. I'm wearing my mask. I'm wearing my COVID mask, and I'm like hunkered down because my windows are tinted. The windows in my car are already tinted.
Did you we went back there and wanted to see her walk out?
I was there to pick her up.
Oh, your grandma wasn't there to pick her up.
My grandma, after a certain point, my grandma was never going to pick her up.
After you figured it was cool.
Yeah. After I decided that it's they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about us. They just never want to see us.
So you told your grandma,
again.
he's like, I got it.
Yeah, I was like, I got this. I'm gonna go get
there
it.
There you go. And
so
I'm sitting there sketched as fuck.
Yeah,
probably because
dude,
you're like,
my heart
if they walk out with her and see me here, they can be like,
oh hell no. Yeah, but again,
go back inside.
That's why I was a block down. Because again, they didn't take note of what our car
where they were going or anything.
Yeah.
Like again, someone if you can walk away, you're like, I don't have a ride.
Yeah.
You're walking.
It's not like I got an escort out.
Yeah.
They're just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We got your money, go. That kind of thing. But they actually released us on OR, which is awesome.
What's that?
Didn't have to pay a bond. It's OR is an OR bond isn't they release you on your own recognizance. So they let you out. They just let you go.
They don't think you're a threat.
Right. Because they're like, you're gonna show up to court, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna show up to court. And they're like, well, we're just gonna give you an OR. Because I was like, I just want things to be better. I was like, because your magistrate, she sets the bond.
Yeah.
She has like a list of what it can be, and given the severity of the offense, she picks which one she thinks fits you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's got like a price sheet.
Dude, let me take a quick pee. Mm-hmm. Pack us up a bowl, and then we'll finish up this.
I'ma pack a bowl, and then we'll finish this story, and then I'll show Toby some Jerry Garcia memes.
Oh yeah, it's Jerry's birthday.
Yeah, today is Jerry Garcia's. I think he would have been, 77 today. Yeah, he would have been an old ass motherfucker. Yeah, so shout out to Jer Bear. We love you very much, Jerry. You are my music father. You are my dad, my music dad, and I love you and miss you. And we wish you were here, and we only wish your soul so much rest and so much relaxation because you earned it, man. I hope the world ends up becoming what you always wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. And I hope, guys, I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday or whatever day you're watching this on, because, there can be whatever day. But I hope you guys are having a good day, because we care about you guys. We genuinely care about you as a person. And just, we fucking care. We're caring people. Oh, boy. Yeah, man, like going, again, like you saw my mugshots, and so it had been 7 years since I've been arrested, which it doesn't even feel like it had been that long. It feels like I got, arrested last week, because jail doesn't really leave you. You know what I mean? Like that stuff stays with you. Those experiences stay with you in a big way. Because jail's hard. Jail sucks, man. They do treat you like shit. So I'm there waiting for her, and so every few minutes I would get super sketched out, waiting there. So I would take a drive around the block, and then I started getting sketched out about taking the drive around the block, because I was like, oh my god, they're gonna notice that I was, this one car kept driving and parking, and then going off and driving around again and parking again. I was like, somebody's gonna take notice, and
someone's gonna think I'm the kidnapper guy.
Yeah, someone's gonna think that I'm the guy snatching people.
You snatching?
You out here snatching, folk? So
that's still fucking crazy to me.
But then it got to a point where it's like she was supposed to be released like an hour ago. They even called the jail called me to tell me they were releasing her.
That's weird.
Well, to make sure I wouldn't be at the house.
Oh, okay.
They were like, "Hey, just letting you know we're about to release her." I was like, "Okay, thank you."
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. So, and I was already sitting there waiting when they called me. So I'm like, yes. I'm like, yeah, all right, thank you.
All right, I'm not the house.
I'm not the house. Yeah.
That's not a lie. This is not a lie.
So after like my fourth time of driving around, she's finally like sitting right across the street where I was parking. So she had, on her own, she had walked down that block, because she had already made up in her mind that she was going to refuse my grandma's ride and take an Uber, because she didn't want my grandma to be involved. She didn't want anybody to know. She was embarrassed.
Yeah.
But they already knew, because I was trying to handle everything. So it was nice that my mom didn't have to pay a bondsman. Yeah. That was cool. Like, didn't cost my mom any money.
They knew that you were picking her up, though?
Yeah. Well, who knew?
The cops. Or your family?
Well, my grandma knew.
Okay.
And I had called my mom, and I was like, yo, I'm not going to...
I would have still had the grandma pick her up and meet me or something. I don't think I would have had them... I would be worried that they... Well, no, if it was around the block where they couldn't see.
Because where Ivy was at that time... she wouldn't have received, like, I don't think she would have received the situation any other way. Like, if I wasn't the one, because she was still mad when I picked her up. Because when she saw me pull up, she was like, I could see on her face, she's like, wait, is that my car? Is that my fucking husband? Because, like, I saw the motherfucker, what are you doing? Like,
oh, like, your grandma's supposed to be here, right?
Well, no, she had already called an Uber. Oh. Like, she was going to take an Uber. Because, again, she didn't want to take the ride from my grandma because she didn't want my grandma to know.
Yeah.
But my grandma already knew and had been staying at the house to watch the animals.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was wondering, why they wouldn't watch her or expect a car to be out front is because you left the note, but only that one person knew about the note.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was worried about, is if they were like, oh, there's a note here that his grandma's picking him up, but there's no car. She's not getting into a car. She's walking on.
Well, no, they were just going to tell her that they don't care.
They're not going to be like, hey,
at all.
What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. What if you had been right out front and picked her up?
I probably could have.
Do you think, and they saw it, do you think they'd be like, hey, dude, what do you do? Do you think they would have even said anything?
Well, at that point, they would have arrested me. Because if they knew that because they're supposed to arrest you. Again.
If you're come in contact with them?
Yeah, it is a no contact order. So if I come into contact with her, they would have arrested me on the spot.
It's like a, what's it called when you can't be in, if someone wants, what is it?
Restraining order?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a small, it's kind of like a baby restraining order.
They see you together.
Yeah, they got to arrest.
Damn.
So she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I was like, get in the fucking car. Because at that point, she's like throwing her hands up in the street. She's in the street. Because I'm like trying to keep shit cool. Her? Well, she's a block down. Okay. If they were looking, I'm sure. But they don't care. There are no cops outside.
Okay.
Like,
so they probably couldn't have. Yeah.
But still, she's in the street
making a scene.
Yeah, and I'm like, just fucking chill, get in the fucking car. And she's like, no, you're gonna get me arrested. So then I take another lap around the block and then come back, and I'm like, get in the fucking car. Get in the car. So then she gets in, and then the first thing,
That's weird.
The
She
first
made
thing,
you take a lap.
well, because she wasn't gonna get in the car, so I was like, okay, Uber home. I was like, Uber home. I was just mouthing these things because I'm not gonna roll down the window. So I take another lap and I come back just to try it again.
Yeah.
Just to try to get her in the car again because we're going to the same place. Like, I'm going back home, regardless.
Yeah.
So she finally gets in the car. I was like, come on. So I just kind of drove down a little bit, and she ran up and got in the car. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, we're going home. She's like, we cannot be around each other. I was like, listen, they do not care. I was like, I talked to the lady that was in the cell with you, and she's going right back to her husband. I was like, everything's okay. I was like, they don't care. They don't give a fuck.
Look at it that much.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, they're not going to care that much. I was like, so I took care of a bunch of shit at home. I was like, everything's okay. We're okay. And I was really trying to be calm at that point.
That was probably the right move.
And then I told her immediately.
To make her feel safe. Because if you had left and actually done no contact, that whole time she'd be, even if you talked to her, she'd be freaking out.
Right. We both would have.
Yeah.
Because, like, we're both crazy people.
It's okay. Crazy people gotta be with somebody.
Yeah, but, like, so everything's good now, y'all. She and I are good. We're actually gonna get a little bit of counseling so we can just learn how to talk to each other a little bit better.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in that.
Learn how to stop or argue, but not get to that level.
Better arguing tactics.
Because you gotta argue.
Right,
that's a part of working things out.
Yeah, so I don't want to be afraid to argue, but I also don't want this shit to happen again.
And I hate that. I hate to hear, just as a friend, I hate to hear that she at any moment thought you were going to hurt her because I know you so well that I know you're a psycho. I know you're going to be fucking crazy and you're going to be hard to deal with sometimes, but I know for a fact you would never hurt her.
Right, I'd kill myself before I killed someone else.
Dude, to make a fucking point, you might do that.
I would
be
way
worse.
Now.
I'm way more scared of you hurting yourself than anyone. But again, that makes me real sad. Again, Ivy, if you are watching this, like, I'm sad that you ever thought of that because I know your type of psycho.
Yeah,
you know that's what it really is. I know you're crazy, but I know your type of crazy, and that would never come around.
Right.
Like,
so we we're good now. She and I, we've had a really good week. Like, even if we've tried to start getting into a little bit of an argument, like we've been able to like squash it really quick.
Yeah,
we've been able to be like, okay, because one time I started to lose my temper a little bit, and like I was like, you know what, I might actually go stay somewhere. I was like, I might go stay somewhere for a night or two.
Yeah,
you know, just because like I don't want this to keep happening. I was like, I don't want us to keep getting short with each other.
Yeah.
You know, but then I was quickly able to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna calm down. It was like, we're gonna deal with it. So like we've been getting better about those things. We've actually had really good communication, had some badass sex. Like we banged it out those days.
Yeah, of course.
But what was
like,
fun,
this is fugitive sex, bro.
Yeah.
They always say, what was that from? That's a Seinfeld quote, bro. He was like, you know, I found something better than what was it? Makeup sex. He's like, I found something better than makeup sex. Fugitive sex.
It's true. It was good sex.
Or conjugal visit or some shit like that.
So
that's all that shit's healthy and like
we're just gonna get a few counseling sessions because like neither of us
that's the thing.
Neither of us really trust therapists.
Yeah,
like I do not trust therapy.
They just want you to keep coming back.
Exactly. Fuck, you know me. You get me. You're in my head because that's what it is. Man. It's a fucking racket. It's a racket.
You there.
So what I do like though.
Solve anything.
So what my plan is. So we actually sat down and we made a list of like the stuff we want to work on. So we have shit written down that like, it's like, no, we don't want to hash out our old shit. Like, I'm not interested in talking about my addicted years. Like, I'm not interested in rehashing our old problems because we're past that. We're in a different relationship now. Like, I just want us to deal, like, I want us to learn more coping mechanisms.
About each other right now.
Yeah, and I want us to learn better arguing tactics and maybe even, like, better language to use.
That's not triggering language.
Yeah.
That actually, that's pretty smart just to know, because everyone has their own little things that are going to trigger them. It's smart to learn what the other person's is, so you use them less and can, because a lot of times you actually want to get a point across.
Right.
You're not trying to upset them, but your language that I remember the guy we used to know a long time ago, the dude from LA, would always talk about syntax. Wasn't that it?
Yeah.
Or no, was it that?
It was
minutia.
Minutia.
That's what it was. I remember.
The minutia.
The minutia. But the same thing. I use syntax a lot because I'm like,
and he would always throw that at you. He would always throw minutia at you.
Oh,
what a punk bitch.
He hated me, bro. Like, I really think
Chris Ford, what's up?
I actually liked. I mean, dude, I looked up to that dude in a lot of weird ways, right? I mean, he knew, he knew a lot of people. He was an old LA dude. Like, of course, there's a part of you that we were young kids, so like that was a role model in some senses, right?
Even this though fucking alcoholic
I get it, but you don't get what I'm saying.
I love this guy. I can really grow into this guy.
No, it's not that. Role models, you just are people you respect. That's what I'm saying. It's like he had done enough cool ass things that I was like, damn, dude, this dude's had a cool life. Like, there was a sense of respect there. But like, he just looked at me as he's like, you just get handed everything in life. Like, you don't do
I think he
shit
wanted to
for
fuck
shit.
Cat. I think he wanted to fuck Cat. I think that's all that was.
Well, yeah. But it was also about the music shit, dude. Because he would
that
talk
was
to me
weird.
about, I would show him when I showed him songs with you guys.
Yeah.
And he talked about his verses, because I showed him a lot of like my solo stuff.
Yeah.
That was really good writing and really well put out. And dude, he would just be like, you're never going to make shit doing like that. And he's like, the only reason anyone's going to listen to you is because of those two. And like, he'd destroy my personal shit that I actually spent a lot of time on. And he would just psychologically destroy me for doing anything that's me.
Yeah.
Well, he was just an elder in a way that I'm showing music. Because dude played music all his life. But then he'd play music and I'd be like, wait, what the fuck? Like, this is really simple. And this really well thought out shit you're calling nothing. And it would just like, it would hurt my mind. Because it was like, he made me want to feel really small compared to him. And when I was talented.
Well,
I spent time and I made good shit, and he just did not like me.
Well, I mean, and that was one thing too. Is like that was
and
really
Jacob was all these elders that I've had. Everyone but Spark hated me. Every person that actually gave me an opportunity somehow saw the evil in themselves in me. And
well, see, that was the thing though. Is I think that because when you and I show up, we are duality. You and I are just duality incarnate.
And you're like the good parts of them, and I'm like the bad parts.
They perceive it that way, but they don't understand that we're both the bad parts.
You. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was a clear distinction. If we would come in a place, there would be a clear love for you.
A queer love.
A queer love for you. I mean, maybe sometimes.
New shirt.
And then just a hatred for me just because of my personality. I was too loose, too out there, maybe somewhat dangerous with the way I thought and acted, maybe a little bit a wild card kind of thing.
But definitely again, back then, yeah.
But again, it's like they would see us very clearly different, even though we were very similar. They honestly probably should have been more scared of you in some situations. Like, they would trust you with things they probably shouldn't have.
Correct.
And they wouldn't have given me shit when I might have done okay. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you see, I don't know what the thing is. We are that duality, but people see that really clearly and they treat us different. And it just seems like everywhere we went, I was just always hated. I was kicked out of places, not trusted, yelled at, destroyed, like little shit like that from everyone we worked with in Forest. Like, when we were alone, they weren't like, you know what, you're a cool guy. They would destroy my personality and character and shit. And it was like, maybe it was because they saw the bad parts of them. Yeah. And we were like, you're what I hate about myself. It's like a dad beating his kid. He's like, you're what I hate about myself. I see the evil in me and you. And on top of that, it's like, maybe I wasn't as bad as them in a lot of ways. And they're like, I hate that you do what I do, but you're not as controlled by it or something.
Yeah, I think that, just you and I as people, we're not only are we strong personalities, we're encompassing. Like, you and I, when we're in a place together, that's our spot.
Yeah.
Like, we post up and we kind of take over,
take the room.
Yeah, we've always done that, and that's kind of like by design. And I think that that's part of why we've stuck around each other, is because we know that we're more powerful together.
We can balance out a lot of our weaknesses.
Like you and I together is like a Megazord.
Oh yeah, but it's just split in half.
Yeah. But the a weird thing too is that like we get a lot of like projection onto us. So like especially Chris Ford. He why
do you keep saying last name?
His full name.
You could have just
because that's not his real name. Remember?
Oh, okay.
That's not his real name. He's got another real first name.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So.
I don't even know Jacob's last name, so it don't even fucking matter.
Don't even.
But we would get a lot of projection on it, especially with him. He would project his music wants onto me because he was trying to back me like a fucking golden. And trying to ride on me like that. Yeah,
was like this dude. This dude's gonna. Again, he would just like. It was such a different thing when you showed him a song versus when I showed him a song. It was like he saw. I don't know if maybe it's the projecting thing, and he saw more potential in you that's usable to him or something.
Well, I think you also intimidate people with your ability.
Because I go in depth. That was the thing. It's like I would go so in depth and write so hard, and then he'd see that shit and be like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. But he'd want me to fail because that I did something he couldn't. Yeah. But then he'd see you doing things that he couldn't and see it as an opportunity. Why is that? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You were more talented than him, and he looked at you and would see the same thing that he saw in me, but his reaction was different because he'd be like, oh, this is something I could use though.
Right.
Like maybe I could make it off of him.
Me.
But why is that clear distinction of like they see the same thing in us, but it affects them differently? You know what I mean?
I think that has to deal with the containers. Like with us, like just
our personalities or something.
Partly because especially around that time, you were
more toxic and
you were just I don't even that's a weird thing to say. I don't really want to put things on you like that because you were going through a hard time.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where you were apathetic a lot of the time, and you were, I was probably a bit more optimistic.
Yeah, and so maybe they saw the talent in both of us, but the opportunity in you.
Yeah, right.
Like with me, they're like, dude, you're gonna be like broke ass Bob Dylan. You're gonna make the most amazing shit, and then someone's gonna find it when you die. I'm not gonna invest my time in you,
right?
Which may be true, but I mean, now I kind of get it because they're like, you know what? I hate you because you're so good, and you're not gonna do shit with it. This dude's good, and he might do something, but that's why we stay together.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's some weird interest. This has been a very introspective episode. But that's odd to think about how clearly different we get treated from the same people. Yeah. And they see like the same thing. I think it's the same thing they're looking at, but yeah, they see it just hits them differently. It'd be like you were mushrooms and now it's DMT. It's like mushrooms the same chemical, basically going through the same thing psychologically.
I prefer like an ayahuasca DMT comparison.
Well, do you see what I'm saying though? As far as like, people could easily call me bad for them or evil, or something like that when I'm showing you the same thing that the ayahuasca would be showing you, but they call that peaceful and meditative and transcendent when they could call DMT like heroin-esque,
right? Or
like something. It's easy to shame. But it's the same thing, right? Do you get?
No, yeah, for sure. I get, yeah.
I was an easy target too, I guess, for people like that. Like,
well, yeah, and when around those times, like especially if a creative person who's so people that are it's weird to say powerful, but like I know us, it's to have that kind of like draw or that kind of control or command over a space or energy. Yeah. I think what you do with it is important.
Can only affect you two ways. It's either going to piss you off or excite you.
Well, I mean, like especially like particularly during that time, you weren't really.
I wasn't trying to help anybody.
Right. You weren't even trying to help yourself.
Yeah.
At that time.
So it was a lost cause kind of thing, maybe in their eyes.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe. And maybe you've already said that.
What do you mean?
Oh, when you said that like you weren't going to do anything with it.
Oh,
you were
yeah,
talented,
yeah.
but not going to do anything with it. But you know, I've never seen that. Never seen that in you. I've always just been like,
I've always been trying my ass off,
Right.
though, secretly.
like even back then, it's like you still were writing. Like even though you didn't
I'd
didn't
come up
want to
with
do
2 new songs if you left me alone for a night. Like,
that was the thing. That was
yeah.
like I was more about the execution.
yeah.
I've always been more about the doing.
yeah,
the
I
do
know,
the
I
thing. Like it. I don't need to spend the time planning. I need to do the thing.
Yeah.
Like that's
Again, that's why it works, because it's you can tell, like, I don't know, you'd be, I'd be better in the lab and you'd be better on stage. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I'm,
like-
again, that's like the performer. I'm definitely a performer.
I'm the prepper. I
Yeah.
want to get everything perfect, and I want to put my all into the making of it.
Right.
And when performance time comes, it's not even that fun to me. Like, I don't even get the satisfaction as much as I got it when I made the song.
Yeah.
That's when I get the satisfaction. And so that's a fun thing too. And again, maybe that's what they were leaning towards. They're like, this is the performer. Like,
Well, yeah, because they could have made money off me quicker.
Yeah.
They could have made something off me faster.
yeah,
Um,
they're like, this dude could play covers and get people to listen to him. You
Right.
know, like,
Because it's like again, it's
they
just
do.
like
You do that right now. People love it. Yeah.
people pay
Same
me to
kind of
play
thing.
dead music. You know,
Yeah.
like which is weird. Which is also weird on me as an artist.
No,
Like,
I see that.
It's a weird thing too because
But
like
it's not all you do.
right, but I'm
It's not
being
the only. It's like, I don't know. In my eyes, I view it more of a music job of yours.
yeah.
Like, it's like shit that you have to learn really intensely, but it's not ever gonna be as good as the shit you make by yourself.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, like even the songs we wrote for Headspace and Shop Tea, it's like I love those songs.
Yeah.
Those are fucking hits.
They were worked out in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. Yeah,
and like the only thing we never
It was
did
wrong
was fucking
time.
record. Yeah, wrong time.
that's the only thing. Wrong time, dude.
Or
if we
wrong people.
If it had been, yeah. See, some people could have sold it better. But also, if it was 10 years earlier or like 20 years from now,
Yeah.
it probably would fit in.
I mean, like, and I don't want to like ruminate on shit like that, but like I really wish that like.
I know you love those projects so much.
Well, it's just really those songs meant a lot. Those
Yeah.
songs themselves meant a lot. It wasn't even necessarily like because we could have had whoever in the band. You know what I mean? And we did at a point.
Yeah.
You know, we like the best version of Shop Tea was with Kelly and Martelli in there with us.
Yeah.
And like I love Houston to death, but like I couldn't have cared less if he was there or not.
Oh, I needed him there for it's like, but he was such an important character. You can't say that he was like,
It's more about what like
he didn't care about it.
he didn't care.
But
like
I needed his sound in the band as far as not only musical sound, which it sucks that he's not playing as much, but not musical sound only, but personality. I needed someone like him. I think it was a
well, no, it's not even that. Like,
every band documentary you watch, there's somebody like that.
well, no, I
You
know
need
that, and I know that that's fine, but that's probably like
But it was to me where you were like, "Oh, I don't need it because he doesn't care about it." That's where I was like, "He can help our creativity because he doesn't care."
no,
about it.
absolutely. Like we got some of our, so he gave us good lines. Like we got good lyrics from him. We got like a decent, we got some good melodies. You know, but then again, like he didn't care enough about the craft.
I mean, I didn't either. Like, I don't think I was fully there either. Like, I did try at one point fully,
Yeah,
but it just didn't feel as right to me.
Well,
and
and
that's a lot about the performing thing. It's
Yeah.
like I'm not a year-round performer. Like, you know what I mean?
and that's totally fine.
In my dream world, I'll perform one show a year, one big show a year, and
Yeah.
get it out of the way, and I'll be worried about it all year. Like,
Oh, I got this thing coming up in 8.5 months. I'm really worried about
I
it.
gotta go sleep. Like, I don't know. I just, that's again talking about how the different ways that we are. It's like I saw him as a vital part of the creativity aspect, especially with the improv shit.
But see,
because he had such a different attitude towards music.
I did
Like-
until a certain point. Like up until like we were so
Yeah, no, this gets you emotional talking about
well,
Shop
no,
Tea.
no, it doesn't really get me emotional. It's just like now with hindsight, I see where missteps were taken. And not that it matters or anything, and not that like I spend a whole bunch of time thinking about it.
But it's good to figure out where you feel like you could have done different for the future.
But like when Kelly and Martelli showed up and we started stepping up. That's when you and Houston kind of backed out.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't directly in relation to that.
Well, no, but those timelines definitely synced up that way.
Yeah. Well, no, I think once it stepped up, me and Houston subconsciously realized, oh shit,
this could go somewhere.
That now it's serious.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what I want.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It got,
for sure.
I think we both went introverted and selfish. And just is this what I want to be doing? Oh, well, that was a huge.
But the biggest thing, like Houston, I love you to death. And if you're watching this, come be on an episode. We love you.
Oh yeah,
I'm just talking about the music, man. Like
it means so much to you.
Well, those songs did.
So like when I bailed out, you got so upset when I bailed, like psychologically bailed. You know what I mean? Like you were really upset, and I just didn't. I was just
because I saw it as ours.
Yeah.
I saw it as our baby. I saw it as our band.
Yeah.
Me and you. Because it was me and you that wrote these songs. But I came back
after y'all started playing.
But we
wrote the songs.
We wrote the songs, and like I made that band so one day you could just jump in.
I didn't see that. See, that was our clear.
That was my plan the whole time, Toby.
But
whole time.
Yeah. Was to trick me to come back.
Not trick you into coming back.
But when you started, my intention wasn't to be back. But it was after playing with you guys that I was like, oh shit, I need to be doing some music with my friends. But I don't know. See, to me, it was just I needed to take this after a while and having played and having felt the music and everything.
Yeah.
I needed to take the step towards. I don't think this music is going to succeed in this world. I don't know if it's the music I like to listen to, and I didn't know how to make the step from being in a band to us making music like we are now. Right. You know what I mean? Because we needed to take the step to be artists and not a band. And I needed that. And I needed it for authenticity and for a lot of reasons. It's not what I didn't listen to bands like us.
Right.
So to me, it was just kind of a thing of like, the next logical step is for us to get, to become artists, you know? And I didn't know how to make that transition. So what happens was I just kept doing it and showing you kind of. See, my weird thing was like the same way you had with the band. I had in the back of my head of like, maybe he'll really see that maybe he really sees that this is what we should, maybe I show him that we could take this approach and it might sell better.
And honestly, I had good intentions. I did it just to be your friend. I did it just to stay your friend.
What?
Got into the hip hop and pop and stuff.
Yeah.
That originally was just to keep you in my life.
What do you mean?
I got really sad when the band broke up. I never intended on making pop music.
And you still wanted to make music with your friends and shit.
You.
Yeah.
You. Particularly.
Yeah.
Because like
I hate that. But
no. Like I still like
there was honestly good intentions because in my mind it was more promising.
Well, like I was already kind of starting to do that when I was starting to record music on my own and starting to record songs on my own and stuff. Like I was still working toward that. It was just one of those things of like I didn't really give into it or get into it like super heavy until you were like, "This is what we're doing now."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Okay, if this is what keeps my best friend around." Okay,
well, that's sad. I'm sorry that it came about like that, but honestly, where the decision to not do the band thing anymore came from a worrying about our musical careers. Like, I thought it was the most legitimate way to promote and sell ourselves was going to be as artists, not as band. And I just, in my head, I was like, this isn't going to go anywhere. It's not going to be where we need it to be. It's not going to, I don't know.
Dude, the jam band scene is difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
And it's honestly not my favorite. That's the thing, too. It's like, it was hard for me, because I loved improv and shit like that. But performing the songs was hard. It was hard for me mentally to actually just go through them because I was like, if I was out there, I would probably leave. Like, even because I wouldn't see, because it means a lot to me because of the writing and I saw it get built.
Yeah.
But like, if I had just heard it in the back of my head, I was like, I probably wouldn't listen to this. And just because I like different, I was changing my style of music that I like too. But, well, shit, I hate to hear that it became just to be my friend, but I hope you. like it, and I hope you understand that.
Dude,
like
it was
the decision was
so after you left Shop Tea, we didn't see each other or talk to each other for months.
Oh, there was just we didn't have anything that we were doing.
Yeah, you were.
Were we doing the podcast yet?
No,
that was way after.
It was way after.
Okay. So we had no, because we were having practices and shows.
We saw each other all the time.
Yeah.
And
then there was just no reason to hang out at a certain point.
Because you threw yourself into it.
Yeah.
Like you started the habit that you have now of just like locking yourself in the room and like just
I still do
making shit. Well, yeah, I said, yeah. And yeah, so like I just thought
I need someone like you to go out there too and get me out there. I'll lock you up sometimes and you can let me out. But I don't know. Now I feel weird about it.
No, there's nothing to feel weird about. It was just one of those things where it's like that's just the truth. That's just the truth. Because it's like I had already lost, so like my band was gone.
Yeah.
My band was gone. My thing that I was working toward, that I thought that other people were working toward.
We were still like talking, and we were making kind of changes of like, let's make some songs together. I thought we were still kind of planning and talking though.
Not really. Like there was probably like 3 or 4 months where we just kind of dropped off. I missed you, and because like it's weird. Like I can. Even as it stands now, it's like I can lose every other friend but you.
Yeah.
You're the friend that I won't lose.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. I don't know why I'm so codependent to you.
Probably not a good.
Yeah, it's probably not.
No, at this point I'm a lot better. But at the point to where you made that, I mean like years and years ago, I don't know why you ever liked me. I probably would have thought I was. Dude, I was watching these All Gas No Brakes. You see those? He was on H3 the other day. That's why I kind of got into it. But I watched all his videos. And you remember Nathan For You? How he like put on the suit and he played the straight man?
Mm-hmm.
So he does that, but with psychotic people.
Okay.
So he goes to, he went to the riots. He went to Trump rallies. He went to Burning Man.
Okay.
Went to Florida. That's all you need to say there. He found the most ridiculous people in Florida. And he talks to these fucking crazy, interesting, but for a funny reason, people.
Okay.
But he wears a suit and does the straight man thing. Because that's how people feel. They open up to him because he's like fully behind what they're saying. He's not like making them feel bad or attacking
He's just listening.
Yeah.
He's just there to listen.
And I was watching those, and there was one, he was at a gym and something. It was like a crystal show where they were doing music and having festivals and shit. And I was just watching all these people that were like me in past lives and feeling really embarrassed. Like there was the dude who was so spun out, but he had all the deems, and he like gave some to him on camera. Nice. And but if you hear him talk, you'll go, ugh. Like he makes people that think anything close to like we do look bad.
Oh yeah.
And it also just because there was ones where it was talking about some crazy conspiracies and talking about aliens, some shit that I consider being real.
Yeah.
And when I heard it said by these people, I was like,
yeah.
I don't even know if I want to even consider that anymore.
Right.
Like it made me feel stupid for even.
Yeah, man, that's the worst thing about like being a part of something. There's always going to be dumbass motherfuckers that are a part of it too.
I don't know for a fact that aliens exist. But I think there's a lot of evidence, and I think there's I will say that there's a possibility. That's what I say about a lot of things.
Oh no,
I'm not denying the possibility of aliens.
They do exist. Like they've released,
but even that there is no.
There's no
confirmed definite
there's been confirmation.
I know the government's come out and released documents and stuff.
Well, they even said, even that a few days ago they were like, we know what the
if it coming from the people we don't trust that lie to us so much. Yeah. How could we? What if this is another distraction? I'm just saying there's no 100% truth. And
to anything.
And so I can't say 100% that aliens exist. All of the proof that I've found could have been spoon-fed to me. And so I can't admit that. And once I see people like that, I'm like, well, you're why I question it. Like people like that, if they believe things like that, there's a possibility that I could have been foiled Foiled. That was an old Headspace song.
Foiled.
But yeah, so they're really good though. They're really funny. You should watch them. All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. I will take a note and I'll listen.
But he was ballsy too, because he went to he'd be amidst lootings and fires and shit like that during the protests. And dude, it was just so weird. Like I would have been afraid to walk in. Like he was around buildings on fire while people were just robbing places, smoke bombs going off, pellets, and he was just like walking through trying to talk to people and like just show. Oh, dude, it's so weird that he's so calm with it.
Well, that's how you know people aren't gonna fuck you up though.
You got the cam. I was thinking because he had the camera that people.
I think it's the whole thing. I think it's the camera, the walking around with a microphone in a suit, right? He's in a suit, so he's walking around calm in a suit, like trying to get people
obviously
to talk.
not against them, I guess.
Right, he's not trying to hurt anybody.
He's trying to get their side, maybe, and so they treat him different. But I would still be nervous in a lot of those situations he gets in.
Oh man,
there's these two dudes. Joker Gang is one dude's name, and his story was that some girl got an abortion and it made him so sad that he tattooed his whole face to look like Joker, and he's covered and it just looks bad. It's too much.
Yeah.
Like unless you got real bars, you can't look like that. Right. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
He's like Lil Wayne if he never learned to rap, and it's just sad, Florida boy. And so he plays Joker all day now. So he's got the green hair, purple pants, Florida as fuck. And then he hangs out with this 6ix9ine impersonator who really thinks he's 6ix9ine, and he's covered. And he like everything he talks about is like from the mind of 6ix9ine. Like I don't fuck with that person anymore. I don't do like when you're a meth head, bro, or like you do all you do is lean all day and like dude, it's such a weird. So he's stuck as a Joker and he's stuck as 6ix9ine, two people that
for the rest of their lives,
like
that's them now.
And it's it's so interesting in a way, you know, like it's very interesting to see. It is.
I mean, in a really morbid way, it's interesting.
Oh,
it's super morbid.
Because you feel bad.
No, it's definitely one of those things where you're kind of
dude, and he'll be like, just the way he talks, you can tell they're so stuck in the mindset. And he's like, I'll beat up anyone dressed like Batman or Robin. And he's like, fuck Robin. Like you can tell it's like real like, dude, you think you're the Joker? And then the other dude's like, I didn't fuck Meek Mill's mama. It's like, baby mama, I don't fuck with that dude anymore. Like, dude, what are you talking about? You're in a trailer park in fucking Florida. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Find an identity, maybe.
Well,
like, I almost respect the Joker one more than the 6ix9ine one, because that one seems, some brain damage.
Fictional character.
That one seems more legit to me because he knows he's not real.
Yeah.
He knows that the Joker doesn't exist.
Right.
But the other dude might think he's 6ix9ine.
He might, especially with the way he's talking.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're really interesting.
Ivy and I started watching. We watched the entire season of Indian Matchmaking.
Oh, really?
It was good.
I was watching Love on the Spectrum,
dude. We how was it?
Check that out.
We haven't watched it yet. How is it?
A few episodes.
Is it all right?
Oh man, yeah. It's the same kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
Of like you're kind of like it's cringy.
Okay.
A little bit at times. And it's, if you want to see it as uplifting, it can be, but it's also just...
Yeah, I don't... see, that was the one, because she gave us the option of that one, so Ivy was like, I want to watch either the Indian Matchmaking or the Love on the Spectrum.
You're like, I'm not trying to...
Well, I mean, yeah, that was the thing, because I was like, that feels like it's just going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, but it depends. If you have a sick mind, it's really funny. It's like, I thought that's the type of shit Tom loves. He loves to see shit like that.
So we were watching... we watched that Indian matchmaking show, and we started watching that before I even watched that.
So that
episode.
One's a arranged marriage
show?
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, some of the people you do root for, because some of the people are really nice, but it is such a weird thing to have these, because Indian culture is kind of strange. Like, especially in the sense of
arranged marriage thing is odd to me. It's like, but I have heard that they can deny.
Yeah, they can say no now.
So you can say no, but they'll just show you someone else.
So what they do is they make a dossier on. So they have a matchmaker. So the show follows a specific, like, one of India's most famous matchmakers.
So it's like Dennis and trying to hook up D, and he's like, look at my selects.
Well, so those like, if you're Indian and you're into arranged marriages, you believe that the marriage is already preordained by God. They believe that marriages are made in heaven, and matchmakers are the ones that carry it out on
your
Earth.
soulmate.
Yeah.
No, it's just like a fucking Plenty of Fish or some shit. Their slogan was like, find God's match for you.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's basically a person who is the dating app.
But they think it's divine.
But they think it's... Yeah. And there's like, Indian culture's got some weird jobs, man. So there's this one guy that she goes to who is a face reader. So she shows him a picture of a person.
He can tell if he's bad.
And he's a very good man. He is stubborn. And it's like and he's like waving his hand at it and stuff and doing shit at the picture. And he's like, he will have a long, prosperous life. He is going to get married in the next 3 months. His marriage will last forever, and he is going to have an arranged
I better marry him quick.
But no, she finds a bunch of people. Is that
like a palm reader?
It's weird, man. Yeah.
So they learn basic things about, like maybe he learns what alcohol does to the face, and he learns what stress does to the face.
Maybe
learns what yelling versus smiling does to the face. Can read these basic things and then make assumptions off of them.
Yeah, I think you should watch the show because I don't get those vibes off that dude at all.
No, you think he's a liar.
I think he's a liar.
Well, dude, I think most palm readers don't know what they're talking about.
I agree.
Not to say that the idea doesn't exist that you could, but not to the T, and not with details. Like you could probably get like from looking at someone's face, you could probably get maybe their vibe.
Yeah.
You could probably get a general vibe about them, maybe.
Right.
Maybe. But past that is like details of like this dude likes German shepherds. He likes fucking in the ass and like stay away from it.
Oh, he likes ass play, does he?
I can tell. Look at those eyes.
One weird thing is like so some people are super picky about what they think their partner should be like. So there's one woman named Aparna.
But what if that's not what God wants for you?
Like,
what are you supposed to do?
like of course you want somebody, and I'm sure God wants you to have somebody who's going to challenge you. You don't want somebody who's just going to be what you want them to be.
Oh, but see, so by you being picky, you're going against the religion.
Yeah, you're going,
in a way. It's like you don't get to pick.
It's so funny because like one woman was just like continually like being like I am like this. She's very strong-willed, strong-headed. So she was just like, I am a lawyer. I do not like these things. This, and this. I travel all the time. I never have a downtime. Yeah. And like she's like, I don't want someone who's all lovey-dovey. I don't want someone who's
why
this.
are you trying to get married?
It's like, what do you like? Because she's getting older. And like part of that culture is like most people get married off when they're like 20.
Dude, we worked with this Indian guy forever. He was awesome. His name was Bob. He was the guy who owns the hotels.
Yeah,
that we did. I don't know if we actually. He didn't stay at the hotels, but he was the guy who owned them. And he when I was 25, he's like, "Oh, are you married?" He said, "No." He's like, "You're ruined." He's like, "You're already wasted."
Yeah.
And he was like. He basically told me you shouldn't even try. It's like you're over 25 is used goods.
Yeah.
In our culture. And I was like, damn,
it's true.
25.
Yep. Like especially for women, like they are mean to women.
They're horrible to women. But again, as a dude, it's like it's like you shouldn't even try now. It's like damn, we can go to the bar tonight. I don't know.
I guess I'm gonna go try to find a wife. I guess.
Or no, you're just gonna go drink yourself to death. Oh, okay. No, you're doomed to not have a partner now. It's like, what are you saying?
Oh man, there was one girl who was not only divorced but had a daughter that she had custody of her, and like the matchmaker was even like, you have like no options.
Divorced and a kid, and yeah.
And she was like,
how old?
She's like, I'll try. She's probably she's like maybe 32, 33, something like that. Like, but she was like,
damn.
And you're kind of overweight. Like, you
this is harsh.
Yeah.
He's like, you fat, you got a kid. What are you doing?
Well, no, it's a woman. It's a female matchmaker.
Yeah.
It's a woman who's the matchmaker. Her name's Seema.
Man, that's a harsh culture.
Another cool thing too. Well, a cool thing is that they call people outside of their family like auntie and uncle.
Mm-hmm.
So like they call her Auntie Seema or Seema Auntie, which is it's really weird how Indian people use English because they use it in a different way. They use words in a different way. Instead of
my favorite thing is the times that I've heard mother bitch.
Oh,
from old Indian guys.
Yeah,
that don't curse. Right.
Yeah,
I really do that, mother bitch.
Yeah,
it's like, well, no, it's either motherfucker or son of a bitch.
And they do the thing. They do the thing where they'll like leave words out. It's like we don't have anything to talk.
Yeah,
and they leave out.
That's
about.
a general thing of people that are. It's hard to conjugate and put sentences together. Like,
okay.
I think that because like a lot of Nigerian people speak the same way of just leaving a lot of connecting words out.
But most Indian people speak English. Like it's not a thing where like they're like missing syntax.
I do think that's a general thing. A lot of foreign people that know it as a second language, don't get the nuances of like the connecting words and how to conjugate things. You know, the same thing if we learned a different language. I'm sure we would skip a lot of especially if you go to like keeping up with culture, you know, and like if you add on slang terms and local dialects and stuff like that, it's just like there's no way you can learn a language fully second language. Like you would have to study your entire
at this
life.
point I'm not gonna try to learn a second language in my life.
I'm always that guy that's like, you know what, someday I've always wanted to learn Italian or French, something sexy.
Yeah. Like I could see French maybe, but even then it's like I'm not gonna do that.
I would probably do Italian because I like
you
the
like
accent.
this. You like this. You like this stuff. You like talking with your hands.
And it's some Bob shit, so I feel like it would be some gangster shit to like make a deal in Italian.
All right.
You know? And fancy because it's like, you know, opera. You know, I could understand opera. Like, you know what I mean?
Like opera?
It's fancy. So I don't know. I wish I just already knew it. Unless they have figured out those chips. I was listening to this.
To translate in your head,
dude. It was this. It was on Joe Rogan.
Okay. It
was a guy who's a neuroscientist, and one of his friends worked in the language parts of your mind, and they're like on the verge of figuring out exactly what words trigger what pieces of your mind, and so they could. Not theoretically, they have some proof that they can put this chip in there that will stimulate these words. So when you can think in English and then speak in another language, and that shit is pretty insane. So
I thought it would have been the other way around. I thought it would have been
you think
speak
in your
whatever
native
language.
You say it in your head in your language, and what comes out of your mouth is translated through because it's activating different parts of.
I thought it would have been another way. I thought it would have been just an internal translator. I thought it would have been what you hear gets translated into your native language in your head, and then so whatever they hear.
See, they just talked about speaking. They didn't even mention. See, that's would you be able to understand?
Easier. That seems easier if like if it just that's like the whole idea behind like the Babelfish. From fucking Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah.
So you put the Babelfish in your ear, and it just allows you to understand every language.
Because then it could take the chip could understand the translation and take those frequencies and activate these parts of your minds to hear. My name is so like it would trigger these spots so you'd hear it in English in your head.
Yeah,
that does make more sense. But they're working on the talking thing, and it blows my mind.
Yeah, that one's
just
weird.
The idea of it. So what do you think about? And now, I mean, I'm not trying to start a new topic, but what are you going to get a chip if they get like, because at the, Elon said he's doing it this year or by the end of next year. He said he's getting the implant that connects him, so he can, he's found out a way that they can, speak telepathically. He can access information from the internet instantly. And so he'd be able to build a rocket from scratch by himself because of how quickly he could access information from the internet. And he said he's doing this personally.
I want to see how it works out for him first.
I mean, he's obviously studied it on millions of people if he's willing to put it in his head.
I mean, I don't think he's gotten anybody to do it. I think it's still like I want to see results first.
I mean, you don't think he'd put it in his head first. He's not dumb. He's had millions of people do this. Like for sure.
Millions?
Well, yeah, because he said they're already using it to fix like blindness and neuropathy shit. It can fix nervous system stuff. It can activate parts of your brain that took away your feeling, like if you were paralyzed in your arm.
Yeah,
so they've studied this on millions of people.
Yeah.
He's taking it to the next level and taking that chip that connects to your nervous system and just adding the internet. So like they already know it works.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to see how it works out for him, and then I'll make my decision.
Because he's a public figure.
Yeah,
so
we'll see what's going on. We'll see the price tag on it. We'll see if there's
now,
anything negative attached to it. Because if it's attached to the internet, you can hack it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not trying to have my read your mind. Did you ever see that movie Upgrade?
Yeah. Oh wait, the show?
No, the movie Upgrade, where the dude not uploaded.
Upgrade. Yeah,
the movie where he got the thing put in his neck, and then the thing took over his body.
I mean, it would be very easy for the Russians
or the Chinese
to come along and just control your body. You know, because like again, if it could, it could do anything like that. Yeah, but I mean, it's a trade off because he's trying to. He's basically said we're already cyborgs, and so give in
because of these.
Yeah, he's like, just give in. You're already there. They're here to stay, and they're waking up. So if you're not half them, then you're not going to succeed. The new alphas are going to be people that are limitless. It'll be like that.
Right.
The new smart people are going to be computer smart naturally. Right. Not naturally, but not without a computer. So,
oh my God.
If you every time you like, what is this thing? And it takes you 10 seconds to look it up. Now it takes milliseconds, right? So you just know things.
Yeah.
Instead of having to look things up, you just know information. Like, first of all, people aren't going to be able to handle that.
No.
And that scares the shit out of me.
There's going to have to be some sort of like capacitor on it.
It's like, because you will not only overload and kill people, like what will become of the people that just know everything at the same, human knowledge
they
at the
virtually
same
become
moment.
Gods.
Yeah. And so maybe at first they'll have like when the internet
because what if you start taking that towards something like enlightenment? You know what I mean? Like what if you were to put all of that
like
energy from that all of that energy from that into like studying enlightenment in milliseconds? You know what I mean? Do you then transcend being in a body and then become just this like this just essence of energy that can manipulate the reality at your will?
Instantly be and it wouldn't take years to practice or bravery or drugs.
It's
or
just
anything.
like that, and like because you just decided to go down that rabbit hole instead of the rocket building one.
Yeah,
fuck rockets, man. I want to be a god.
Oh, but I don't know. It really it would be beyond this dimension at that point. So so you think people would just be like hopping dimensions, like. Oh, I don't even know. I don't know what we're talking about. Even it's like, dude, it's again. My mind goes back to before I talk about this, I know that parallel universes, even though they have admitted their possibility, they are nowhere close to ever being proven. It's been proven that they can't be proven.
Right.
So there's been so much work on it. I understand, but that being said, I always have to give some lead in.
PC gone mad.
That being said, in the case that does exist, and this thing would allow people more control over psychic abilities, over interdimensional travel, things like that. Not only, I mean, of course, my mind gets excited because it'd be amazing we'd basically be an alien planet.
It's insane.
We'd have, and we could get things done we'd advance so much quickly. So it's exciting. At the same time, you're right. They will know all of your thoughts. They will be able to hack your body, do whatever they want with you and your mind and your energy.
They want you to go walk off a cliff. They want you to go shoot somebody. They want you to go rob a bank.
They make your mind to where you get pleasure from doing this certain job that benefits them, and then you're a slave. You're like a mental slave. And there's a lot of people that believe that's already happening. That a lot of the frequencies being put out are
that and even just people the way they're controlled by media.
Oh yeah, see that's a lot more likely.
Yeah,
that it's not this crazy conspiracy about frequencies. That it's right in front of your fucking face
because they're telling you about the frequencies.
Face. Yeah, I said face, dude. Speaking of the speech thing, a funny thing that he was talking about was upspeak. People talk like this.
Yeah.
And so his friend that studies language and all this shit, because Joe is like, I think it's just these tech people that are pretentious and kind of fitting into
and he's like, no.
And he was like, well, my friend has good evidence that your map that makes up language is distorted. So therefore, it'd be like a mutation. It'd be a handicap. So like he was basically saying your R word.
Yeah.
If you talk like that, like,
oh man,
that was his. And he's like, no, there's something wrong with their mind. And Joe's like, no, they're just picking up. Now I will say some people are probably just picking up the language.
Yeah,
it's like an accent,
right?
But apparently they had done a lot of work into that area, and it was pretty clear that those people were brain damaged.
Oh shit!
So Silicon Valley, listen up.
Yeah,
you got drinking a jointed.
Yeah, and on that note, we love you guys very much.
Yes.
This has been the 85th episode of A Drink and a Joint. It was a girthy little bitch.
Yeah, we came back hard. We were making up for last week. So.
Yeah, so get at us on all the social medias. Go check out Loose Beats. Go check out Play Dead, and we will be back next Tuesday.
Doing the thing.
Yeah,
love you guys.
Love y'all. Gotta be so bad now.